union in the throne room and had kind of a debriefing with King Lithvir, Carrick's brother, and he had given y'all the Iathir crest, and basically kind of explained what's been going on, let you know what the crest did, and said that y'all were free to roam about the city as you choose. I think y'all had then been escorted by members of the palace staff to your corresponding suites, rooms that you've been given indefinite room and board at the Lithir Citadel, and so y'all have your own room. And again, if I wrote it down correctly, y'all kind of got acclimated and took care of everything you needed to in your rooms, and then y'all kind of met downstairs together, and y'all were going to leave the Citadel and kind of roam around Iathir. If my notes are correct, is that what everybody else recollects?
Yes, that sounds about right.
All right. So y'all are kind of all specifically, I believe Baron is still in his Sunday best. Is that correct?
No, I think okay. We can play that either way you want to. I can either have stayed in my suite, or I can could have come back in my battle gear.
Oh, it didn't matter. I just remember you putting on your fine clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody's in their street clothes now, and so y'all again have kind of met down in that same main palace foyer where you first met the commander before y'all had been led off to the side of kind of the meeting room / library prior to your meeting with the king. So y'all kind of gathered back down in that main meeting hub of the palace, and y'all are going to turn to leave the Citadel. But as you do so, you'll hear a familiar voice as you'll hear Conrad Alistar. He was I guess we call him the speaker for the king. In Game of Thrones lingo, the hand of the king type thing. He's going to come up behind the gentleman and say, my Iron Lords, I wanted to relay information to you before you departed. King has requested that you join him for dinner this evening when you've finished business in the city. Might I tell him that y'all would accept?
What time?
The one that is a vampire?
That would be the only king.
And then he's going to eat us? Wait.
Yeah.
Maybe I better keep mage armor on.
Yeah. Are we for dinner? How did he word that?
Yeah, how did he word it?
I hate to get all technical here.
Yeah, he said for dinner or...
He, Konak will kind of look at you almost with a bit of smirk / disdain at the joke, at the inappropriate joke.
What you say? Does he even know he's a vampire? I mean, how many people know this secret?
He was present at the
Unveiling.
He is aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, he is one of the few.
It's a valid question, Konnak, or whatever your name is. Konrak.
He says that have dinner with Carrick and his friends.
Okay.
I accept.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all
Hey,
right.
I guess we'll eat with them. Yeah, why not?
He said, take all the time that you would like in Iathir. Once y'all return after most of the shops close, just let us know that you're back, and we will make sure that dinner will be served.
I assume it'd be after dark.
Yes.
And raw.
Huh?
And raw.
Raw. So he looks pleased that you've accepted. He says that he'll provide that information to the king, and he turns about and returns into the inner depths of the Citadel. And with that, y'all have the afternoon and evening to do as you please. And just whenever you return, you've been invited to dinner.
Who are we talking to now? Who can we find information from that we don't already know?
Goodness.
I have no
Wild
idea what
dogs.
you just said. I couldn't hear.
Who can we talk to that we just for locations of things that we don't already have a data dump on?
Carrot.
Where's a bank? I want a bank.
Carrick would know where the bank was, I assume.
Yeah, well, Carrick has been away for a couple of 100 years, or 100 years or so.
100 years.
So things look a little bit differently. So Carrick is going to shrug his shoulders as to I'm not sure if there is a bank or if there is one, where it would be at this point.
Not sure. I guess Carrick would point at the Citadel behind him and say, "That's my bank."
That's and then he said. Then he would also tell Baron if there's anything that has to do with money or money changing hands that's not goods or resources related, it would probably be located in the Elven district.
I mean, can I just?
Well,
can I
Here
just
comes behind the cathedral or the citadel that's the bank. I'm gonna go, great. I don't have to hear about any more party funds. Go talk to those guys.
Yeah, I want to turn around and go to the Citadel. Can
Yeah.
Carrick come with me and change out, like, color out some money?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
You want to color up
Hold on one
Yeah, I
second.
want to color up to some platinum.
to platinum?
Platinum here? Is that what it is?
Platinum is more dense, right? So you can carry more of it.
21.
What? What was the exchange rate?
20 to 1.
Is it 20? I thought it was 10 to 1.
20 to 1.
Some math here. What, divide my total by 20?
Well,
Wait.
50 per pound, right?
Sorry about that.
No,
Sorry
one
about
platinum is 10 gold, dude. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. The website I got was wrong, then.
Sorry, I was.
Everything is 10 to 1 except for that stupid electrium or whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the weird one.
Yeah. Electrum is like half a gold. But platinum is 10 gold.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Does it matter? Not really.
Not really.
Hey, Jared,
Yeah.
can you change the backdrop to the city map?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Once we hop out, yeah, I'll go and do that now. Y'all exit the Citadel, and y'all back at the.
So, I mean,
No,
did I find a bank, or was I coloring up at the Citadel?
What now?
I said, was I able to exchange my money for?
Oh yeah, you ain't got to do that. I'm gonna drag you where you want to go.
Okay.
You plan on carrying more stuff? Why are you? Everybody's going where they want to go.
Great.
I'm just going, that's where we were, right? Citadel?
I think there's the city.
We're like over here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Hey, I've got a way I'm gonna keep track of what's going on. So you'll just tell me where you want to go. I'm gonna drag each token to a certain spot.
Okay. Well, where do we want to go first, boys?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'll call it dinner.
wherever I can exchange coin, that's where I want to go.
Okay. So Brock, it's been so long. Baron is going to kind of follow Carrick's advice that he was able to kind of vaguely give, and so he is going to Baron's going to go to the Elven district.
Oh, I'm going to farm around and go with Baron. I'm going to change.
All right, so you're going to go with Baron.
Yeah.
Before they leave, I'm gonna pull Baron off to the side.
Okay.
Rock, I'm gonna just send you a message.
Okay. This will be fun. Oh, did you send it like over?
Yeah, I'm sending it.
Okay. Was that Jay Mick? I mean, I couldn't tell. That. I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell. If that was
Where's everybody else going?
If you'll let me retcon talking to the king for 1 second, I'll do that, and then I'll be ready to go out to town.
All right. Well, that'll have to be pretty because he's recessed away. He's retreated along before y'all kind of went back to your rooms and everything.
I mean, either that or I can burn a sending spell. I don't care.
No. Just if you just message me whatever it is you're going to ask him.
Well, it's simple. I just would ask him: is there someone that he doesn't trust that I shouldn't show my face to in town?
Oh yeah. He would have mentioned the name. I forgot everybody's names. Holy hell! Hold on. He would have mentioned the name Volwyn Tharaval.
Tharavar or whatever.
Yeah, Volwyn Tharaval.
And then follow-up question: is there anyone that he does trust explicitly who would be willing to help?
At this point, it's the Silver Shroud is who he trusts.
Okay. All right.
So he would refer you to the commander.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. So in general, safe to walk around town as Carrick or as Silithil.
Yeah.
Okay. But just don't be bragging about who I am.
Yeah. I just don't be bragging. Just don't be bragging about it. Again, he said if he would warn you about anybody, it would be the Volwyn guy.
Gotcha. Okay, that's it. All right. So not like a general hot zone. Just avoid that.
Right.
And then before we left the Citadel, I would ask everyone if they wouldn't mind to pin their new badges or crests or whatever these things are to the inside of their lapel, so they're just not out on display in the open.
That's already been done.
What's a lapel?
It's under my beard.
Under your beard.
What do you think?
He said it's under his beard.
That's great.
I'll just go.
After that, all right, good. Carrick's ready to go. I'm ready to go into
All right. So where's everybody else going?
if they're going to the Elven District, of course, that's where Carrick's going to go
Oh, who
first.
took my guy? You did?
Yeah, I'm going to the bank.
All right.
I had my guy where I was wanting to go.
Well, I'm dragging you to the page where you're going to be going.
I'm gonna go to the pits,
New background.
to the fighting pits.
All right.
Oh, if I hear that, I'm gonna say, hey, Drew, set me up a fight. I'll be there as soon as I can.
I'll tell him I'm just gonna scout out kind of what's going on there.
No, set me
I'll
up
go
a fight.
scout it with Drew. I'm
Set
not
me
gonna
up
go
a
So you're going with Drew?
I want to see what they got going on.
he's in his fresh skin. I don't want him to ruin it.
All right. So I think that's everybody. Y'all should be on different pages now. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll handle the since the fact play was just you were just kind of scouting stuff. Well, that'll be the easiest thing to do at this point. So we'll do the pit first. Grim and
Was I supposed to be on a different page?
well, you hadn't said where you're going yet, so I figured you hadn't decided. Where do you want to go?
Oh, I had my guy on the Grim.
Grim. So you're going to go to the pit with them?
Oh, is that where the pit is?
It's in the front.
Oh, well, I thought I was, okay. That's, the pit is in the Grim? Jared?
No.
Jared. I forgot you can't hear me.
I can hear you. No, the pit is not in the Grim district.
Yeah, there's a little place called Grim.
Yeah.
That's not where the pit is.
Okay, that's where I want to go to Grim.
You want to go to the Grim district, okay?
Yeah.
No, sorry, wait a minute.
It's a good looking pit though.
Oh, he got you in there.
I was saying that.
Oh, yeah. So maybe when we get to that, don't get to that. If we want to draw him out or something.
There we go.
If I get spotted.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Oh, great.
Hey, wait, yeah, my mouse wasn't working right. All right. All right, so we'll, as far as the pit goes, Grim and Drute, they're going to kind of make their way into deeper in to the slums. Y'all are going to cross through the Riverbank Square. The market, it's going to be kind of at full blast at this point in the day. Make your way through. All right, y'all kind of cross down Main Street into across a little wooden bridge. See some kind of tree lines to your right. It's almost like a wall of trees with a little bit of brush and stuff that makes it really hard to see through, but you can kind of see some nicer houses on your right, but this kind of acts as the natural barrier. You've entered into the southern part of the slums. It is a stark contrast of what you've thus seen so far when you came in through the main gate down the Comfort District, and y'all have kind of stuck to the western part of Iathir, which has been nice row houses, the Daffodil Manor, the Citadel, the Cathedral, things like that. Y'all have basically entered into the since we're all from Louisiana, the 7th ward, or is it the 9th ward?
The 9th ward.
So you've noticed that it's pretty decrepit looking. Everything is pretty trashed. At this point, y'all kind of look back and notice that Ivor has kind of nodded, and he's separated from y'all as y'all cross that bridge, and he's headed south into the specifically the Grim District. Y'all will kind of cross over into what they call the Old Bank and the Lower Hovel. It's pretty squalor conditions. Lots of people on the street, lots of destitute, poor, trash and debris in the streets. Kind of things. I guess you can kind of imagine the road house in South Africa, stuff like that. But you will make your way north into the center of the slums, and as Grim and Drew kind of get closer, you're going to kind of hear what sounds to be like an event going on, or large crowds and cheering. As y'all kind of continue to the north into the very epicenter of the slums, you will see a large structure that appears to be housing some type of, I guess you'd consider some type of obviously sporting event for our vernacular. You're able to kind of hear the crowds cheering. As you approach, you'll see large groups of people, kind of a mix. They're, the poor and the destitute that's kind of out there begging, but you'll also see people that are similar to you all, clothed similarly. They don't look poor. They look like they're there for a reason. You'll kind of see some exchanging money between hands and things like that. And as you kind of get closer to this structure, you will be able to definitely tell that this is some type of fighting arena that is enclosed almost fully around with a wall. You'll see several entrances where people are kind of coming and going. I need both of y'all to make we'll say investigation checks.
Just me and
Yeah, just you and Drew. I broke off to the south.
my passive is 19, but I'll roll anyways.
What you want?
21.
Okay. You will notice that there are several entrances and exits, Grim. It does not appear that there is anybody that is collecting not tolls, but money. It appears that these people are kind of coming and going freely as they so choose into the fighting arena. But with that, you'll notice that at one of the entrances, there is a gentleman that everyone is kind of congregating around. You see pieces of paper and in some cases some gold coin exchanging hands. He has several what appears to be maybe guards or bodyguards standing around him. They are kind of keeping an eye on the crowd as he.
Can we tell if they're Silver Shroud or they're like?
These are not Silver Shroud. These appear to be some type of personal bodyguard dressed in clothes. But you are able to see that they are carrying weapons, swords and shields. But they are most definitely not the Silver Shroud. And they kind of there's three of them kind of standing right behind him, and he seems to be conducting business with several people that kind of come up to him and talk to him. And you see again things kind of change hands. He is dressed a little fancier than the rest. I wouldn't say necessarily fine clothes, but he definitely seems to be with that role more important than the other people.
I'll just look at Drew. Drew, I think that's the guy we need to talk to. Let's see if we can get the lay of the land from him.
And with my role being a 1, I'm like, what? Huh? Oh, something's going on? Oh,
I'm
sure.
holding your hand and drag you over there.
At this point, I kind of envision Droot to be Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool 2. He's now growing his limbs back.
Your eyes aren't working yet.
Yeah, everything's not working quite well.
Sorry, I'm still a little foggy here. My bad. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah. Go talk to that guy. I'll come with you.
All right, so y'all will kind of make your way toward that entrance, the fighting arena, and the crowd. You'll hear as you get closer, even louder. You're right there at the entrance. You'll see 2 or 3 people in front of you, kind of speaking with him. They're kind of having to speak loudly because of the noise level, but you see him nod a couple of times to different ones as he kind of turns his attention to each person that's talking to him. You'll see one as he holds his hand out, will drop a few gold coins into his hand, and then he will pocket it into a purse. And then a couple others say something to him, and then he pulls out parchment, makes them what appears to be some type of marks on the parchment, and then pockets that as well and nods. And then you will see them depart. And at this moment, you kind of recognize a window to go and speak with him. And you will approach him, and he kind of you draw his attention as you walk up to him. He says, "Gentlemen, how may I help you?"
Drew, it's on you, man. Yeah, I'm not.
What's what all's happening down here? What are you doing down here?
I know what I'm doing here. What can I help you with? What are you doing here? Are you here to fight or to watch?
Well, I came to see what was happening. I heard there was some fighting going on down here. I just kind of came to see what all the fuss was about.
He kind of turns and he says, "Feel free to go in and take a look. This is one of the largest fighting arenas in this part of the peninsula. Feel free to enjoy yourself and parlay the occasional wager if you so choose."
All right, if my friend wants to sign up to fight, how does he go about doing that?
I would be the one that he would speak with that. Allow me to introduce myself. And he introduces himself as Walden Millhouse.
Oh, Walden
Millhouse. And you will have him in your thing. You've kind of been given when y'all were getting the 411 on the Iathere. He was described in detail by.
Okay.
I'll ask Walden, so do y'all have like a champion down here?
He says, well, we have a few that have never been defeated, and yes, they some are semi-retired. But if you are interested in fighting, I will be more than happy to explain to you the entrance fees and the payouts, if you so choose.
I'm very interested in the payouts here.
Okay.
I'm also interested in, you said you have a couple of guys that are undefeated. How many you got?
He says we have 3 that have never been defeated at this point. That's not to say that that their day will not come, but that is that is who we have. We have 3 current semi-retired champions. Why do you ask?
Well, I know a couple of guys that might also like to fight, and just what are the chances of maybe like a 3-on-3 match?
Well, it's funny that you say that. We have multiple ways for any aspiring combatants here. You're free to fight on your own. You're free to fight in duos, and you're also free to fight as a squad.
Well, I'm definitely interested in signing up. I think I might watch for a moment, enjoy some fights, and wait for one of my companions to join me for this.
Okay, let me post this up here for you.
See if he's up for a 3-on-3 fight.
All right.
So I'm down. I'm down to pound.
I think you're at the wrong place.
I'm certainly down to pound. I'm just not there.
Sounds like there's more than one brothel in this town.
Oh, I'm going there. I already saw that on the list.
We go. Y'all tell me,
Badge at the Elvin Ho place.
hey, I'm about to update this. Tell me if this worked for you. Okay.
He's on the pit.
Where are you updating the pit?
Yeah, the pit. I should show it to you now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, we could make $6.50 a piece.
All right. So you'll notice that the way that the tiers work, that the depending upon if you are going to fight yourself, just one-on-one.
Oh, you could do one versus a squad.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, you can do one versus a squad, or you can do. Whoa, where did that come from?
2 versus a squad.
You can do. It's like an inverse pyramid. You can also do a squad versus one person. But you'll
whatever combo you want, huh?
Yeah. So the cost is per person. So,
Yeah.
like for instance, for the one combatant, it would be 200 gold pieces, but you can win 500. If it's going to be 2 of y'all, 100 apiece, but you can win 1,000. The squad is 50 apiece, but you can win 2,000. How y'all split it, that's up to y'all. And then same thing for the 2 combatants and all the way down to squad.
So we could go squad versus one person, and we get paid 2,000 gold.
You can do it. Yeah, what you would do is the squad would be, if y'all went a squad and went against one person, it would be 50 entrants apiece. So that's 6 of y'all. So it'd be 300 gold pieces, and you could win 1,000.
Plus 700 to kill one person.
Right, well, that was my next question. Do people die in the pit?
Line that up. Just stack them up, boys.
Millhouse looks at you when you ask that, and he says, only if it is a fight to the death. But no, that the king has very strict rules about battles to the death. This is all out of meta or whatever. This would be all till just in someone's unconscious.
Yeah. Well, I would say to him, well, I appreciate that. I would hate to kill someone in a sporting contest.
Oh.
That would be against my morals here.
Yeah.
But if it's just to beat someone bloody in good sport, then I'm all for it.
My morals are a lot less loose than his, but
Well, he says, as long as there are willing combatants, the fight will go on. At some point, though, hence why our 3 undefeated gladiators have semi-retired. Most people will refuse to fight them. And so,
let me ask you a question.
For my friend Baron to show up, I might enjoy a single one-on-one fight just to warm up the blood.
Oh, you're gonna go right now?
Let's go right now.
So, but what he was explaining was that that's why he has 3 undefeated gladiators, because at some point people are unwilling to fight. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If you become too good or have too much notoriety, then people will refuse to fight you, and so you can end up not being able to find any more opponents.
Yeah, I might just, if you got somebody else kind of newcomer, I might just go one-on-one with them just to warm the blood up.
Drake's breaking in this new body here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm brand new alive. I got to get these muscles flowing.
All right. He's gonna.
Millhouse, before he signs up for his second death, do you own this pit?
Why do you?
Really a nice kid.
It's super nice. I'm just wondering, I mean, are you cashing in all? Are you taking all the profit for yourself, or what happens here? How does this get divvied up?
He kind of looks at you and make a persuasion check.
Let me find my character sheet.
And then hold on one second. Let me pull up his.
Hey,
I've already read his sheet, but
while he's doing that, I'm just gonna place my hand kind of on Grimm's shoulder, and I'm gonna subtly cast guidance on him.
Oh no, we got guidance now.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah, his sheet. Yeah, that's why I put that in the sheet, Grim. Those are the rumors, but you're asking him to verify whether he owns it or not.
I got it. Yeah, 18.
So I got to pull up his sheet.
D4.
Yeah, 18 plus a D4.
Plus a D4. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, there you go. 22.
That's like the broken spell for
All right. Let's see. That's against his. That's against his wisdom.
like every roll. If you're standing there, you can guide them.
Oh yeah. All right. So you. What was your? Where's your? Oh yeah. You easily beat his wisdom roll. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You trounced his.
So he gets the books and shows him where the money goes.
So he's gonna go. He's gonna when you ask that question based on that roll, obviously since you beat that roll, you're gonna notice that he kind of gets defensive in posture and facial feature. What kind of question is that? Why would you assume that I do not own this?
It's a wonderful place. You should be proud of it. That's the only reason I ask. I'm just curious where the money goes. It looks like it's being taken care of. Who if you don't own it, obviously, who does own it?
Again, you'll kind of again see that based on the way that his tone of voice has kind of gone as quickly as it did, it kind of confirms the MO, the 411 that you were given on his kind of personality. You can kind of see you can see that you were correct, that you know that he does not own it outright, but he does not want to admit that, but his tone and the way he reacted to your question has confirmed your suspicions that he does not in fact own it, and he will simply say, the money goes where it's supposed to go. I have a portion that is allotted to me, and I have co-investors that help me fund to this place. And then he kind of turns back to Drute and says, do you intend to fight? So you get confirmation, Grim, that he does not own this and that he owns, either co-owns or owes the proceeds of this to someone else.
Okay.
I'll put before we fight, I'll turn and ask him about betting on fights. So you mentioned we can wager on some things as well.
As you say that, you notice that his demeanor kind of slightly shifts back to the way that it was, and that he kind of gets that little smirk again. Oh, absolutely. While the entrance fees and the payouts are standard for anyone that enters, we are always open to additional side betting as long as you're good for the money.
What kind of odds you got?
It is a straight. You put up, and you have the ability to double or nothing your money.
Can you bet on yourself in a fight?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Can you bet on yourself in a fight?
Absolutely. And he kind of see like another little like devilish grin that as if he would anticipate a question like that.
While he's talking to Root about the betting odds,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stand behind him and cast on the truth.
Okay.
Oh, and then Trevor disappears to get his answer.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Just a quick question. Did you say?
I didn't even look at that. He did disappear. Say it again, Drew.
So just to clarify, you said we can bet on ourselves?
I have a feeling like the entry fees and stuff goes to the boss man, but he gets to keep.
All right, last question for you here. But what about, as you see, I'm carrying a sword and shield and armor and things like that. Are those things allowed in fighting, and what about magic users?
He will acknowledge that. Fair question, sir. This is a melee exhibition only. There is no magic.
All right. My mouth. Well, what did Drew ask him? I lost connection.
Can we bet on ourselves?
Okay.
Basically.
During the match.
Okay.
With that,
I want to ask him before he leaves that if I were to be an interested investor in this fighting pit, who would I talk to?
he says hold on, hold on. I got to pull a sheet back up. Where is it at? Because it says he's got to make a charisma?
Yeah, he's got to.
I assume that fails.
Yeah, it failed.
All right, it says on a failure, he can't speak it up. Which Caesar failed. So he failed, and he's aware, so he can avoid, but he can't lie. He'll simply say, he'll say, I do not choose how many investors and who is allowed to invest in the pit.
I'm not asking you to choose. I'm just asking you to tell me who I talk to.
He would say,
obviously not you.
He would answer. He can be evasive. He would say, someone that holds more power than I.
How much gold do I have to give you to tell me who owns this place?
Ooh, make a persuasion check.
Let's go. Let's just be clear.
Just be clear with the bribe. Yeah,
Okay, you're terrible.
The bribe. How much?
Persuasion. If I were good at it. Yeah, not good at it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this guy's freaking sheet up. I don't know why I keep closing it.
You're gonna beat whatever you roll. It's a 3.
No,
Was it 2?
I think it's a wisdom. He's not real wisdomy.
Hey, add a D4 to that. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just in case it was low, but never mind.
All right, I'm done with this guy.
Well, all right. With that, because as far as that persuasion, then his counter, his response to that, how much gold is he's going to say? You'll see again that kind of devilish smirk across his face and says, "Oh, it could be a fount of information," and he holds out his hand for a mere 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh, 5,000 gold pieces?
Yeah, that's the weekend
You just paid off.
That's the mortgage on the pit.
I'm going to look at him under zone of truth and say, "You're lucky I don't burn you down in this street right here." And I'm going to walk away.
And he goes, fighting spirit. I like it. You would do well in the pit.
I don't think so.
I think we need Barron versus the squad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We want to cut to somebody else now because I'll wait and see if Baron wants to hop in a fight with me. So if we want to
right.
if Trevor's done with this guy, we can cut to someone else.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
And we'll come back.
Drew, are you going to, because we'll table it and go to somebody else, but I'll keep you on this page. Are you going to enter in a fight or are you going to wait for later?
Yeah, I'll do it one-on-one, just see what it's like and we'll table it for later.
Okay. All right.
See if they want to join in later.
All right. I'll leave you on this page and we will switch to, let's switch to Ivor because Ivor was out there. He had kind of hung south and was in the same area. So, Baron and Grim, are y'all going to kind of stick with Drew, or are y'all going to make your way back toward town?
No. Was I able to color up on platinum to gold?
I don't know why.
I guess I missed that. I never heard that. Say what were you trying to do?
I wanted to swap some gold for platinum.
Oh, okay. Then you're going to want to go. I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong. Here's the wrong page. Yeah, you and y'all are in the Elven District. We're going to do that last. I'm sorry.
It was at least me and Jack.
Yeah, it was you, Carrick, and Jack.
Yeah, y'all said Elven District. Carrick was on board.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, the three of y'all are in the Elven District. All right, so we're gonna cut to the slums. We're south where Ivor was headed into the Grim District. Grim, are you going to kind of hang tight with Drew, or are you going to separate and kind of move back where you came?
What's the?
Y'all should have the map.
I want to go back to the. Yeah, let me go back to the main map. Let me see what that is.
I mean, we can. I mean, if it's easier for you, I want to make it easier for y'all. We can do.
Yeah,
I can bring the map up. The reason I have separate pages is because I have notes on these pages where I'm dragging you to, but I can go to them manually. If you'd rather put a token out on the city map, that's fine. I want to make it easy on you. I'll just go manually to the other pages.
I know where I'm at. I just need to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Here we go. I've got it right here.
Okay. Like I said, I just have GM notes on the screen that tell me some stuff, and that was why I did individual pages.
Yeah, I understand. Just trying to figure out where I want to go now.
All right. Well, while Grim is deciding where he wants to go, we're going to actually switch to the Grim District, where Ivor is. Ivor is again kind of backtracking here, or rewinding a little bit. As Jarut and Grim kind of crossed that bridge. Deep into the slums, heading into Old Bank. You kind of gave them the nod and let them know that you're going to kind of hang back, and you don't cross the bridge, and you head directly south into the Grim District. And similar to what I described to them, I mean, again, you are not in the central part of the slums, so if there's a nice part of the slums, I guess you could say this is it because you're on the outskirts of it. Mm-hmm. Nearest the riverbank square and all the markets, but again, this is a pretty big shithole. So you're going to kind of make your way south into the Grim District. Is there something particular you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, when I was talking to the guy earlier about real estate available properties.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking, obviously, there's not a realtor around, so I'm kind of just walking around.
No, you don't see any Coldwell Banker signs.
Right. So, I mean, is there any kind of are they all just tents around here, like little shacks?
No, it's kind of a mixture. You'll see some shanties made of metal and wood. Well, I say metal. Not all just tents and cloth and stuff like that. There are some structures, but they're pretty ramshackle and run down. Again, kind of being on the outskirts of town, of the slums, there are some kind of like I guess you'd say Shreveport. You know how you hit the outskirts of Cedar Grove? We'll even say almost you've made it in Spring Lake. There are some nice, okay looking houses mixed in with the crap.
Okay.
So. You're able to see on the westernmost edge of the Grim District, there are some decent houses, but as you kind of move closer to the river and further into the slum,
I guess I'm looking for some a property, and I'm kind of looking close to the Riverbank Square.
Okay.
closer to that versus in the river. And I might not be in the right place. I might need to be up in the comfort district, but I'm looking for like a 2-story kind of a
Fixer upper.
yeah, maybe a little bit of fixer upper, but I'm looking for something that might house like a bunkhouse of some sorts.
All right, let's do this. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. And some persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that.
All right. You kind of start stopping, casually, not like you're questioning anybody, but you're just kind of making conversation with several of the people that don't look like they're going to hit you up for money. And you're kind of asking those same questions you just relayed to me. By about the maybe 7th or 8th person, you'll get someone that actually gives you the time of day, and they'll answer your question. Man, if you're looking to buy something that's not going to fall, the floor is going to fall through as soon as you step inside it. Yeah, you want to go. You want to go to the Comfort District. You need to go to the Iron Hammer.
The Iron Hammer. Okay.
Yeah, you need to go to the Iron Hammer. If you go to the Iron Hammer and talk to the owner there, she can probably kind of guide you to maybe some places for rent or for purchase in the Comfort District.
It looks like it's also known for its ale and female companionship.
One of the many brothels.
Okay. So I'm talking to just some random guy.
Yeah. Like I said, by about the 7th or 8th person, you're able to persuade someone to actually talk to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna just ask this guy. What do you do here?
He looks around and says, "You're looking at it."
You just kind of walk around. What else? I mean, what do you do for money?
I either usually steal it or find the odd job to do it.
Are you good at stealing stuff?
Make a.
You're gonna make like a little bird situation.
Yeah, make it. I tell you what, just make just a standard charisma check. This is Ivor being his charming self. Just a standard charisma.
Where is that?
I have a snap block at the top.
Oh, I'll just click it. Is that what I did? Did I do it right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got it. Your dice are stuck at 13. He goes, well, I'm still standing here, and you can tell I'm not dressed as bad as some of these people, so I'm better than some and not as good as others.
Fair enough.
Then he kind of looks.
Character sheet for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he kind of looks at you and kind of goes, why do you ask?
I'm just curious. I tell you what, appreciate you giving me the time of day here. I'm just going to I need to get business cards. We'll pull out like a small scroll that has my name on it.
Little picture
Pull out a quiver.
bow and arrow.
I tell you what, once we come by the Iron Hammer and ask for Ivor next week.
All right. He introduces himself as Keth, Keteh.
Okay.
And he says, I may do that. And
If you're still alive, Ken. If you're still alive.
and he kind of walks off as you said it, and then you kind of turn around and you.
Hey, I want to kind of pat him on the back, and can I roll sleight of hand to try to grab something off of him? I can't hear him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can do that.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me find his.
Oh.
Oh, you stole all his money. Yeah.
Oh. It says, what is that? You said sleight of hand?
Yeah.
That would be against his.
Come here.
Yes, it's perception. Oh, wrong one. Ignore that.
All right.
I did perception. All right. Oh yeah. All right. You were successful in that. You beat his perception. you 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 grab 50 silver pieces and 100 gold pieces and some lint out of his pocket.
All right. And I'm going to start to kind of walk away, and I'm going to turn around to him and go, "Hey, Kev." And I'm going to throw him his pats back with his money. I'm like, "Come see me. I might teach you a thing or two."
He goes, as he, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. Hold on. Let's see.
Leaving the gun,
Oh,
too.
please tell me he drops it when you throw it at him.
That's what I was trying to do. Let's see.
Athletics. Yeah.
Oh, he passed it.
Oh, he caught it. As you throw it to him, he catches the bag. It doesn't hit him square in the forehead, but he then looks at it, and he looks back at you, and it's a mix of like he's mad, but at the same time astonished because he considers himself at least a halfway decent pickpocket, and he kind of gives you a nod, like with respect, and says,
The wink in the gun.
So, Ivor has made a potential contact in the Grim District by the name of Keth. So, I guess you write that down.
Yep, and I'm gonna head off to toward the Comfort District. So.
Okay. As you are doing that, again, you're headed north to the Comfort District.
Right.
But as you do that, you are kind of making your way through the north part of the Grim, back trying to get back to halfway decent civilization. But as you do that, you hear kind of a ruckus going on, and as you kind of walk, you hear this commotion going on. As you kind of get closer, you see a crowd of people and what appears to be off in the distance, maybe about 25 yards up the street, several Silver Shroud. They seem to be kind of talking to someone that you can't quite see over these guys are pretty tall. They appear to be looking down, talking to someone on the side of the road. I guess you got to let me know, do you want to approach that or circumvent it?
They're are they threatening somebody? Can I roll perception, like if I can feel like the tone of what's going on?
Roll perception and investigation.
Huh?
Perception and investigation. Roll them both.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For the perception, what you hear, Ivor, it does appear over the kind of the noise of just the normal ambient noise of the street. It does appear they're kind of raising their voices at this individual. You also what hears to be a female voice, not how you can kind of tell if someone's by their voice. She doesn't sound sexy. Well, let's put it that way. It's not like a fair maiden.
It sounds sexy.
It's kind of like raspy and kind of gargled, but
Does she sound like she has a great personality?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like someone that's got a great personality, but you can tell that this is not some fair maiden in distress. But you're also able to tell that the Silver Shroud, they appear to be kind of giving loud verbal commands to whoever it is that they're talking to. This woman.
Is there like any kind of alleyway or any kind of like place I can duck in real quick?
All right. Again, with that investigation, this is what you would see. You would see that it's not a large crowd around them. It's mainly four Silver Shroud kind of talking to this person. You can't see who they're talking to, but one of them is kind of turned around and is told passerbys to mind their own business and go away. There are a bunch of row houses here with lots of little alleyways. So if you chose to get closer, you could probably do it. You're going to roll stealth if you're trying to get there.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to duck in and put on my mask of many faces and look just like any other person around here.
Okay. Go ahead and you can duck into one of the alleys. Roll a stealth check.
Oh.
Everybody watches you check.
Everybody watches me check.
You duck into an alley, and you kind of change your face and your appearance. You see a couple of people kind of look at you, but they're so stone drunk at this point, it's they don't really realize what in the hell's going on, and they kind of just okay, it must be the booze, the ale talking.
So now when I slip back out on the street, I'm going to kind of I'm gonna approach the commotion and just kind of. I want to kind of walk up beside the Silver Shroud and really hear the conversation.
All right. As you kind of walk up, you get closer, and you are able now to get a better look of who they're talking to. It appears to be some old haggish-looking woman with a like a crow on her shoulder. She's kind of got a mat laid out in the street. She's got her back up against one of the shanties, and you can hear the Silver Shroud kind of giving her reading her the riot act, telling her that she needs to pack up her shit and move along. That they're tired of coming by and having to deal with the commotion that she causes with her proclamations, and that if they have to come by again, that they are going to once and for all arrest her and throw her in the deepest, darkest cell of the dungeon, so that they will be rid of her nuisance. She barks things back at her. She's speaking in common. You can tell that she calls them some names that you would expect them to immediately arrest her for, but they kind of shrug it off. One of the Silver Shroud kind of takes notice of you as you kind of walk up and takes you for all the other riffraff that is just kind of walking around milling about, and says, "Move along, sir. This doesn't concern you." And then he'll kind of turn back, and they'll kind of accost her a little more verbally, and then you can kind of tell that they're frustrated, and then they kind of give her one last order to pack up her stuff, get off this corner, and
she's selling stuff. Is that what you said?
No, she's got like little knickknacks and weird little bones and weird things out in front of her, some cards, and she's got a crow on her shoulder, and she's got what looks to be some type of crystal ball or something like that. And she seems to be from your experience. You've been around the block one or two. This would be what you would consider the resident. I guess what do you call them, a soothsayer or
tarot,
yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
As I approach the guy, I'm gonna say, "Sir, let me help you move her on. I'll get her out of here. Can I take her on, sir? We won't cause any more problems."
Can make a persuasion check.
Oh Lord!
he will look at you and say, "We don't need your help, but at the same time, I would be happy if we would just burn this whole part of the slums down. Move along, sir. You're as bad. I'm sure you're as bad as she is." But he turns to the other Silver Shroud again. You can kind of tell that this is not the first time that they've had to do this. You can sense the frustration in their voice, and they kind of now move further north back toward the River Square Market. And you can kind of tell as they walk off, the last one kind of kicks her stuff and causes her cards and knickknacks and things to kind of fall out into the street. And she kind of scrambles to pick them up and bring them closer to her, but then they kind of leave her alone, and you get a good view of her. And
so they're kind of moved on now?
Yeah, they've moved on now.
Can I bend down and help her kind of pick up her stuff?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to slap my hand, though, and grab something.
Okay, all right.
What do I see?
Go ahead and...
Oh, yeah. Grab something.
let me find her thing.
Yeah, you should just pull out everybody's cheat whenever you start talking. We're going to be messing with people.
Well, I was just trying to get back to the Comfort District. This opportunity just presented itself. And I don't look like Ivor right now. I look like another thief. I just look like some random.
Yeah, why is it doing that? There we go. Where's she at?
I took a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. You will again. You will give this appearance that you're helping her kind of gather her belongings and things like that. But you pocket. I can tell you, it's nothing of value. It's like chicken bones and a couple of old cards that look like that. You're not quite sure what kind of hands have touched these things or where they've been, type thing. But you've got a handful of it, and she didn't see it. She will say, "Oh, thank you, sir." And again, she's got an old, raspy, gargoyle type voice, but she will thank you for not only helping her pick up her things, but willing to help move the silver shroud along. She kind of says, fortune shines upon you, while it may not shine on this city. May blessings always go with you.
Hey, why were they messing with you? What's the problem?
She says, "Oh, that's usually a once a day occurrence. They come and bother me every day. They tell me I'm causing civil unrest. I'm just simply trying to warn the city of what's coming."
What's coming?
Then, as you kind of says that, as you ask that, she says, her face kind of gets serious, and she says, "So would you be one of the few that's actually interested in what I have to say?"
I am. Indeed, I am. I'm always interested in what people say.
And she says, "Well, it's always nice to meet someone that doesn't have their head so far up their rear end that they actually would listen to reason." She introduces herself as Shagar the Wise.
Okay.
There you go. I'll show it to you.
And she warns him of COVID-19.
She informs you that that she has had visions that darkness is coming, and that the once proud city of Iathir will soon fall to this darkness, and that those that refuse to heed her warnings will be swallowed by that darkness.
So she
Any kind of timetable on that darkness, Shagar?
She goes. She says, fair questions. She says, I always feel that my visions are clearer when there's something shiny in my possession." And she holds out her hand.
I'm gonna slide her 10 gold pieces.
Oh, she lights up. She says, "I don't have much to offer, but once I give you this, if you'd like some companionship."
I'm good. Hey-o.
All right. So you'll give her 10 gold pieces. She'll reach out her hand, and you can kind of tell that the hand is basically the same color as her garment. You don't know the last time that this has been washed, so you're very careful not to actually touch her hand. You just kind of drop the coins into her hand, and she will kind of reach out to the cards in front of her and go to try to find them, and she's going to start counting them and realize that some are missing.
Say that one more time.
She reaches out to get the cards, and she's trying to read the cards, and she notices some are missing.
Oh, she's trying to use the cards you stole from her.
Almost like, oh, here, here's some cards right here. I hand her cards back.
Okay, I'll need you to make a sleight of hand on that.
Oh yeah, Irish sneaky.
You would?
Okay, yeah, there ain't even no reason to roll. She completely falls for it. I mean, it's like straight out of you straight palming it, and she doesn't even see it. There's no sense in for her to even roll.
Let me see the cards. Let me shuffle them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do the magic man, like magic shuffle from one hand to the other for her, and you hand her the deck, and she's, bless you, my son. She will then kind of kneel forward on her mat, and she'll start kind of dealing the cards. And as she's kind of flicking the cards, she will stop on one. And as she does that, you're going to kind of look over because you know she stops on it. And it's a card that has what looks to be a forest on the card.
Okay.
You'll kind of, as she stops on that card, you're going to kind of notice that not only does she pause, but she almost visibly shudders at that card, and she mumbles something under her breath that you can't comprehend. You aren't able to hear, but you can definitely tell she mutters something, and then she continues to deal the cards.
Wait.
Mhm.
Card mean the timber industry is going to fall this next quarter?
Yes, that's exactly what that meant. buy lots of lumber stock.
Okay, yeah.
She will then throw the next card will be a skeleton. There will be a visible skeleton on this card. She'll kind of stop again as you are kind of overlooking her or down at her over her shoulder. You're kind of standing over her, and then she'll continue to flick the cards. The next one will be Moon, and she kind of stops on that one as well. And then she continues, and then she deals one last card that she kind of stops on a fourth card, and it appears to be the outline of a countryside or a city. It's a nondescript city, but it looks to be some type of countryside. As she looks at that, she kind of throws her head back, and you can kind of tell her eyes kind of go back on the back of her head. And she starts muttering some weird things underneath. We'd probably assume you kind of take a healthy step back. And after a few moments, she leans forward and she says, this is what I was able to see. And she tells you that darkness, she points to the moon, darkness, eternal darkness is coming to the land. And then she points to the city. That's kind of, there's a silhouette of the city on this countryside. She said, the darkness starts here, and she says it will soon overtake the entire world. And she points at the background, the countryside. And then she points to the skeleton card and says that the undead will soon overtake this world, that those that never sleep and those that never die will soon become our rulers if we do nothing.
We'll say, all right. Well, thank you for that. You enjoy that 10 gold piece. Enjoy your cards. Try to keep out of Strahrd's ways, and we'll be looking for that darkness coming out of the woods. All right.
And she kind of looks at you kind of with this blank stare, and with that, I'm assuming you say, all right, this conversation is pretty much all over. So is that correct?
Yeah. I'm gonna just say, hey, take care now.
Okay. You're gonna turn to walk away, and as you do that, she's gonna reach out and grab you, and she's gonna look at you and say, whatever you do not travel into the Yearwood.
Oh, you broke up there. What'd you say?
Don't travel in the Yearwood.
Oh, don't travel in the Yearwood. Okay. All right, I got you. The big bad woods. Thanks, Shar.
All right. You'll kind of walk away, and as you get about another 20, 25 yards in the opposite direction, where you're going to start hearing her wailing again and doing all kinds of stuff, and you're going to hear people going, "Shut up!" Kind of throwing stuff at her and saying stuff. She's kind of fallen back into a routine that kind of got her in trouble with the Silver Shroud in the first place.
All right. Well, then I'm just going to head off toward the Comfort District. So.
Okay. All right.
I want to send a message to Baron and find out where they're at and meet up with them.
Shit, I want to know where I'm at.
Okay. All right. All right. Y'all are in. We'll cut to you all now. They are in the Elven District.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just gather the information and head that direction.
Okay. I'll drag you over there.
Well, he sent a message to us. I didn't say we told him where we were.
All right.
I'll relay the pit information to him once I meet them.
Wait, what? Okay. Whatever.
No, you didn't? Okay. Then I'll let y'all figure it. So you sent a message saying the pit stuff, where they're at.
I'll just ask him where he is and ask him where he is and tell him I'm coming your direction. If he tells me where he's at.
Is he? So you sent that to Baron. Does he respond? You said you don't respond.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Am I? Can y'all hear me?
Hello.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he froze for a second.
You reconnected.
Hey, there we go.
No, yeah, I've got you back now. Yeah. So okay, I jumped the gun there. Did you
sorry.
respond to Grimm's message?
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay. I thought you said okay. All right. So yeah, he's let you know that they've headed into the Elven district, and so I've drugged your token there. So that should be 4 of y'all, or is that 5 of y'all?
I don't know. That's about.
I think that's 4 of y'all in the Elven district because Groot's still up at the pit and Ivor's headed to the Comfort district. So all right, so we'll switch to the Elven district, and since we've got 4 of y'all there, I don't know if we've got everybody going to the same places or different places. So I guess one at a time. I guess tell me who's doing what.
I want to.
Too bad you don't know any magic.
I'm trying to. I mean, first of all, was I able to change out platinum for gold? That's all I want to know.
You're headed to the Elven district, which is where Carrick had given you the best idea of this is the district in which you would go to make those kinds of transactions.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay, so all right, so we'll go ahead and take that. So if y'all are all together, then as y'all kind of walk down the streets,
possible.
Baron,
Yeah,
huh?
as quickly as possible. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this, but
Okay. Well, as you do that, go ahead and do what Ivor did. Make a persuasion check.
you want Baron to make a persuasion check? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck. I rolled a 2, a 3. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just gonna take you probably a good 10 or 15 minutes of walking through the Elven district, as try as you might, before you get someone that actually gives you the time of day with information that you can use. But by the end of that time frame, you do finally get someone that seems to know what they're talking about, that not just a visitor like you, that they kind of know the lay of the land of the Elven district, and
keep
they
in mind,
inform
I'm
you
gonna
that-
flash this. I'm gonna flash this badge as much as possible.
Okay. If you're flashing that badge as much as possible, you're going to get some looks of not only surprise. You won't get them from visitors because people that are there shopping like you are probably not going to know that. But some of the stalls on the side of the road and some of the people that are actually citizens, they're going to kind of stop and look at you, and they're really not going to know what to say. And by the time, like I said, you've talked to a few people, you finally get the answer that you're seeking. They let you know that if it's anything that's not shopping related, as far as resources or weapons or items or things like that, if you're trying to exchange currency or store money or things like that, you're going to want to go to the eastern part of the Elven district, nearest the Tharaval estate. Tharaval owns several businesses in that area.
Okay. Okay. Before that happens, I'll do the same thing for a jeweler.
Okay. All right. That will let you know that there are several jewel houses and things like that would give you fair price for whatever it is that you're trying to do. It would be on the eastern district there. The eastern edge of the Elven district, over by the Tharaval estate. There are several businesses that he does not claim, but those people, again, your crest carries a lot of weight, so they kind of are a little bit more forthcoming with information. They'll let you know that while he will allege that he does not own any businesses himself, people are smarter than that and know that he has his hands in several businesses, and that those that deal with money, currency exchange, and things like that are over by the Tharaval estate. That's where Baron's going to head. It's going to want to head.
Yeah. All right.
And so Baron will head over there. You will see, I think it's previously in your journal, the Tharaval estate. as you kind of, I'll go and show it to you again. As you kind of, are you going to stay with them? Or are you going to separate? Are you going to let them know what you're doing? And you're going to go ahead and run over there and get that taken care of?
I want to run over there and get that taken care of. I mean, if anybody wants to go with me, that's.
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there. I didn't hear you.
If anybody wants to go with me, that's fine. But
Are we going to a jeweler or the bank?
I have no idea. But according to what I've heard,
I like it. Fuck it. I'm going with you.
I'll go with you.
All right. All right, so the three of y'all will kind of head over to Carrick is going to kind of hang tight, kind of just he's going to find a common area to just kind of hang out while y'all go take care of the jeweler business, and y'all will kind of head on over to the eastern part of this district. You will pass by that Tharaval estate. It is. It's probably one of the nicest estates that you've had the ability to lay your eyes on in y'all's adventures. It covers quite a bit of distance. But as you kind of pass by that, you will see several shops and things like that bear various names, people going in and out. You'll see one that most closely resembles what you would think to be a jeweler establishment. You were able to see people coming out with little purses and pouches. And so you will head into one of those. It does not appear to be, it doesn't have a sign out front that declares a name, but it does have several patrons in there coming and going. And you'll walk in and you'll see I guess you'd say a fancy version of maybe teller stalls where there's several dwarves, which is what you would consider an uncommon sight in the Elven district, but several dwarves manning these little stalls with several people in line doing things. And again, this isn't like New York City. When I say lines, it's like there's 100 people in here, but you'll notice that one that does not have anybody standing at it, and y'all will approach this dwarf behind the desk, and he'll say, hey, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. What can I do for you?"
I'll immediately say, I have a red ruby here that I would like to have engraved for my mother, if that's okay.
Okay.
Is that a possibility?
He as you kind of hold that, provide that information to him. He asks, we may be able to handle. We're more of if you were looking to sell it, but I am sure that if you're just looking to have it engraved, we could do something as or have that done as simple as that. Considering the
items.
About it.
Is that
I'm sorry, you were frozen there again. What'd you say?
You're capable of engraving items.
I can't.
Hang on.
He says we wouldn't do it here, but for someone such as yourself, and he kind of nods and with his head and kind of points at your crest. I could make sure that is taken care of. Again, normally we buy jewels and things of that sort, but I can make sure that it is taken care of.
Who can engrave something immediately?
Immediately. Let's see here. He says, I don't know of any personal engravers, know any of engravers personally myself, but there is someone that is magically inclined that would probably be able to help you. If you're looking to stay in the Elven district, I would refer you to Marion's Golden Circle.
How long would it take you to engrave this jewel for me?
Oh, I'm sure that she could have that done in very short order for you.
So, like within an hour or two? Is that what we're talking?
I would assume if the gold is right.
Yeah.
I haven't been in there.
Yeah.
Is it fun?
That's fine. I can wait for an hour.
It's not going to happen here. It's going to happen over the other place. So,
well, didn't she just say she can do it for an hour, like within an hour?
circle.
Yeah,
place.
Yeah, you would have to head to Marion's.
Which is where Eric was beelining it, by the way.
It is here in it's in the Elven market of the Elven district.
Okay. Well, it's it's a 2-minute walk.
Oh yeah, it's in this district. You can get there in short order.
Okay. And can you handle the ruby? Because I like to spread my coin around. The ruby's not pertinent, but you can handle the ruby, and I can.
Oh yes, if you would like me, I could have a courier take it to her immediately if that's what you would like.
Sure, and I'll go over there immediately and make contact.
Okay. He says, that's fine. He says, I will make sure that one of my most trusted couriers gets it to her immediately. And then if you would want to make yourself at home and enjoy the Elven district, maybe give her a bit of time for it to get delivered there. And I will let her know what your intentions is there. So she can begin work on it immediately. Is there anything particular you wish to engrave, or do you want to address that with her?
Yes. My mother's name, Countess Diana.
Okay.
From your beloved son, Leopold.
Okay. You see him madly scribble that down on parchment, and then he folds that, and then he pulls out from underneath the counter a box that looks to be a very very well constructed box, and has a lock on it. And he kind of opens it up, and it's kind of padded and silk lined, and asks you to place the ruby inside.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll also place 40 gold coins inside for payment.
Okay. All right. He nods and says, "Consider it done."
Okay. How long would that take? Maybe like a few hours.
He says, "Yes, probably." He said, "If you would give me maybe 20 minutes to get it delivered, and then she will, depending upon what other work that she's doing." She owns one of the magical shops here in town, but she has quite a few contacts. She can have that done for you. I would say she would be more than able to have it done within an hour or two.
Okay.
Yeah, replacing bricks.
Yeah. So I would assume the 40 gold would be for her. I'll give you for your effort 10 more.
He seems rather excited, pleased, and appreciative, and says, "I will expedite this post haste. Thank you for your understanding in the matter." And again, the way that he speaks to you, you can kind of tell that not only is he professional in nature, but whether it be the way you've handled it or the crest that he made note of, that you are getting utmost respect from this vendor.
Okay.
If he's done, I have a quick list of things I might need from this guy. If he has one, that's fine. Platinum rings. I need 4 platinum rings.
Platinum rings.
50 gold each.
Okay.
Diamond dust. And I need powdered silver and iron.
Yes, you know. Yeah, he's got a list. Somebody did some research.
He look. Do me a favor. Make a perception check.
The model houses. What would you call it? Landscape.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
My passive perception is 19, so I'll use that.
Okay. All right. Perfect. When you make those lists of items, you're going to notice that his. Well, let's put it this way. Let me ask this question: have you displayed the crest?
I have not.
Okay. Then what you will see is that you will kind of see a look of worry from him, but because you are with Baron at this point, but you haven't displayed the crest, so you're going to see kind of happy-go-lucky, jolly kind of attitude, kind of change, and he will simply say, "Yes, I believe I have a few of those items."
Okay, I want all of that, and I'll take that crown out of my bag and put it on the counter and ask him how much is this worth.
And then
So when I took they
make an investigations check now.
It's about like $3.
All right. You're not going to see much with that. See that he kind of consults a piece of paper, but then he's going to kind of look up, and you're going to kind of see something in his eyes that, based on your 19 perception, you're going to see that he wants to tell you something, but he doesn't quite know how to say it. He's going to kind of push the crown forward back towards you and say, "Sir, you may want to take that elsewhere."
the crown?
And your business.
Listen, I'll reach under my beard and grab the crest and put it on the table and be like, listen, I just need the items. The crown's a problem, let me know. I just picked it off a guy down the guy.
He's gonna look, and you're gonna kind of see him kind of look to the left and to his right to some of his other coworkers, and he's going to you're gonna be able to see that he's gonna kind of make a motion for you to kind of come a little closer and to lean over. And again, he's a dwarf. That's why he's kind of acting this way, because he's a dwarf as well. And he's going to say, "Sir, I would do no business here." He's talking almost in a whisper. "I would do no business here if you value your money. If ever there was a swindler and a cheat, it would be the man that owns this establishment. You would be far better served getting the items that you seek from Marion's."
Okay, where's Graham right now?
He's there with you. You've passed the ruby off, and he's gladly packed it up and handed it to somebody. And Graham stepped forward to engage in a conversation, some bartering with this guy. So again, he seems to be whispering to you, Graham, like he's trying to go make a insight check. You can tell that he's telling the truth. He's trying to give you some what you feel like based on his tone of voice and the way that he's trying to deliver it, like advice. He's trying to help you out.
I'll grab the crown and kind of put it back in the bag, and I'll just in Dwarvish. I assume he speaks Dwarvish.
Oh yes,
Sam. I much appreciate the heads up. If you don't mind me asking, who owns this place?
Yet again,
Same question.
He will tell you, Thorval.
I'll nod in kind of acknowledgement and listen. If I slid you any gold, does that go to him too, or can I just like open a tab at a bar around here that you like?
You will. You'll kind of see him visibly, kind of his shoulders sag and his head kind of dip, and then he'll back in Dwarvish say to you, he says, "Thorval has eyes everywhere here, and everything that is earned or any money that changes hands goes to him, and the prices here are severely marked up than what you would find elsewhere."
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, find me over at the Citadel. Come ask for, ask for Harbin Webster at the Citadel, and I'll take care of you. I'll leave you some payment for your advice there. That way, this homeboy doesn't get his hands on it.
you kind of see him kind of perk back up, and he kind of lets off a little smile and says, "Thank you." And again, you kind of see him again. Throughout this whole conversation, you kind of see his eyes darting back and forth to kind of see who's watching or things like that. And he nods and says, "You can kind of see that he makes a mental note of the name that you said." And
I'm going to make a mental note to leave some gold for him. I'll make sure to get that. And then I'm going to go to the other place.
Okay. Jack, are you going to do anything here, or are you following them?
I'm just following them. I was just going to the bank. I don't have any jewelry.
Okay. All right. So y'all will make your way back up and meet up with, I guess you'll meet back up with Carrick?
Yeah, I'm like at this magic shop, like waiting on them.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Where's that? All right. So, and then Darren, are you going with them, or are you going to just kind of stay out in town?
Who knows where the difference?
Yeah. What I would do is go try to meet with this Darren. What's his face? Vester.
I'm sorry, man. You were breaking up there. Say it again.
Yeah. I got it right here. Let me see. Darwin Volstar. Is his estate anywhere near here? I don't know.
He lives over there.
Are you talking about Vol and Thorval?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all were in the establishment that y'all were just at was kind of several buildings and quote unquote businesses that Broomer under his umbrella. But you passed by his estate, so yeah, you're very near his estate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go there.
So you're gonna break off from the group and kind of go check that place out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll drag you over there, and then Jack, Grimm, and Carrick should be at the Golden Circle. Y'all will make your way into the Golden, down the Elven District, back into the Elven Market, which is on the west part of the Elven District, and you'll see the sign that kind of marks the Golden Circle. And you'll kind of walk through the door, a little bell will ting as you kind of walk in, and you're going to see a very well lit and very pleasant looking place with lots of eclectic, weird things on the walls and books and strange items. And you will see several people coming and going in and out. It's very well lit. Again, you were in one of the more prominent business areas here, and you will, as you kind of make your way up, you're going to see the person that had been previously disclosed to you as the person to contact. You are going to meet up with, or you're going to see the owner, Marion Harrison. And the three of y'all will approach her, and in a very very pleasant voice, you'll hear her say, "Well, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to my cabinet of curiosities. How are you doing today?"
Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Yes. Well, what do you have for sale?
Just straight to the chase, I see.
No pleasantries here. We don't have time.
All right. So she says, "Fine. Let's see. She will kind of disclose to you the items that she has for sale. She will explain to you that that she has various materials and components and things that she takes possession of and does trading for. Her inventory will occasionally change, but as of now, these are the items that she has in stock, and I'm about to update it. So I guess tell me if it doesn't work or does. right, it should be updated now.
Mhm.
Oh, man, does somebody have Heroes Feast? I can't remember.
Not yet.
That's really late in the game, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have it. I'll have it next level. Oh, one platinum ring is $2,000. Holy cow!
A what?
A platinum ring. I just need like a 50 gold platinum ring.
I'll ask her kindly to tell me about the wand of the wild horse.
The wand of the a wonderful item of note that I have recently come in to possession of. Let me find. This is a very rare wand that the weight of it seems to change slightly depending upon how much magical energy is drawing from. But she explains to you that the way that it was explained to her was that as an action, you can speak the command word, and doing so will transform your body and everything you are carrying into the form of a warhorse. Your statistics are replaced by that warhorse from the Monster Manual. When changing forms, your hit points will be the lesser between your current hit points and the maximum of the warhorse. If you drop to 0, you'll revert to your normal self. And you can use this once every 24 hours.
That's pretty cool. What about the Staff of Reflex?
Says that when holding the staff, this one is not near as interesting or as entertaining, but it's been on the shelf for a little while. But it's when you hold the staff, you gain a +1 to bonus saving throw, a +1 bonus to saving throws.
And
What about the ring of blazing speed?
Ooh, she kind of turns her attention to you and
watch out.
And says, a man with good taste. She says, there's several types of these rings that kind of pop up from here to there. Some belong to the pirates that roam these coasts, the Red Ravens. But this one's interesting. She says, this ring has 3 charges. While wearing this ring, you can speak the command word, and doing so expends a charge, and it allows you to take the dash action as a bonus action. And additionally, when you do that, a line of fire erupts behind you beginning at your starting position and follows your path of movement.
That's pretty cool.
This fire lasts for 1 minute on any surface and has the potential to set fire to flammable objects. A creature that passes through or ends their turn inflamed in this space takes 1d6 fire damage. And it regains 1d4 expended charges daily at dawn.
Nice. Reusable.
I have to ask about the eye patch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
An eye patch.
She says, she kind of goes and says, "This is a curious item," and she kind of holds it up, and it appears to be what appears to possibly be a living eye embedded in an eye patch.
Oh God.
She says, this wondrous eye restores one's sight via magic, and it is spectacular. It also enables you to enhance your sight beyond its natural capabilities. She says, while worn, the eye patch acts as a normal eye to any creature that's wearing it, regardless of where it's worn. If it's worn somewhere other than over the eye socket, it takes some getting used to. For the first week of wearing the eye patch, you have disadvantage on perception checks that you make, but thereafter you have advantage due to your enhanced eyesight. So a 1 week disadvantage on perception checks, but thereafter you always have advantage on perception checks.
Okay.
Star potion. Turn it into a star.
Oh, the star potion. She kind of points to the glass case behind her and says, "I see that caught your attention. The magic that fuels this potion, we believe, was possibly distilled in another plane. After drinking this potion, you are immune to all types of damage for 1 minute."
Where's Ira to steal it when you need it?
That's the Mario potion.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. It's the star for Mario. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. A side effect: you flash brighter than.
Side effect: you blinding light for a mile.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask her if she has any platinum rings that aren't 2,000 gold a piece. I just need some rings worth about 50 gold a piece.
She kind of says, "Well, let me check," and she kind of steps away from the desk for a moment, kind of turns and kind of pulls open a drawer, starts looking through some things, and some of her other employees are kind of helping other patrons as she kind of takes a few moments to do this. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes pass as she kind of fumbles through the different boxes and things like that, and she says, Yes, I don't put these on the board because most people are looking for higher quality stuff. But yes, I do have I have three platinum rings. I could sell them for you to 100 a piece if that was. They're much smaller and they don't look as brilliant or as shiny. But she has 3 that she could sell you for 100 gold a piece.
3 doesn't do any good. I'll just take 2 of them.
Okay. So she'll toss one back into the drawer and hand you 2 of them, and you'll hand over 200 gold pieces.
Yeah, and I'll also take 2 of your holy waters.
Okay. She will kind of go back to that drawer, and she will hand to you 2 of the holy waters, and you'll hand her 400 gold pieces.
So that's 600 total. And I'll also take the silver mirror for 1,000 gold.
Okay.
And I don't know how long. Let's see. What else is there?
Do you want me to? Because I don't want to dump all of this stuff into y'all's journal if you're not going to, like I said, because it would just put a bunch of junk in the journal that you're not going to have. Do you want me to real quick tell you what all these things do?
Yeah, just like a one-liner on everything.
Yeah, one-liner. The candle, you can use an action to light it, and it casts darkness in a 60-foot radius.
So it's the opposite of a candle.
Yep. The hook pick. While wearing the hook, you can insert it into a lock and speak a command word. It acts as if like a thieves' tool on a lock. Then you add some bonuses to proficiency and things like that to the dex. It makes it easier to pick locks. The Birkin crystal, it will hover in place, and it can hold up to 200 pounds. The amulet of thunder immunity is just what it sounds. I think maybe one of the other things was attunement, but this one is attunement. If you wear it, you are immune to thunder damage. Potion of strength will give you, for 1 hour, your strength goes to 29. The statue is a strange one. If the statue touches any living flesh, it adheres to it permanently, and it can only be removed by the means of a remove curse spell. If the whatever limb it is attached to has disadvantage, and it can also grapple or cause grapple immobilization, depending upon what extremity it attaches itself to. Chalice of Nightmares. It's a lengthy one, but basically, if you drink out of it, a success you can see past any fear or visions in your mind, and you become immune to fear. But if you fail, there are some debilitating effects for a short period of time. So it's a crapshoot. Cloak of Warmth, you can basically be unharmed by any temperatures as low as negative 50 degrees. Clockwork Soldier is a little wind-up soldier that, as an action, you wind it up and it immediately springs to life. And it is a little mini companion that can guard, attack, or follow you. And you can give it orders. I think it's for 8 hours. You can cause it to attack, to guard a specific section, or follow it. It's got stats for it as well. The Red Raven Rum, once you drink it, you weigh half as much as you usually do for the next hour. And during that time, your speed is doubled, and you can jump twice as far as usual. But you have disadvantage on charisma checks. The Ring of Arcane Numbness has 3 charges. These are not reusable, meaning once the 3 charges are gone, the ring is destroyed. But while wearing it, you speak the word and you expend one of the charges, and it prevents your concentration from being broken as a result from taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
Already did the Blazing Speed. Spyglass Identification. It has a magnification of 2 times. In addition, you can use an action to study a creature through it, and you'll learn of any of its resistances or immunities.
It'd be nice.
The Bear Guardian figure is basically just what it sounds like. It's a little figurine, but that when you use the command word, it turns into a bear. And it's got some information that goes along with it. Staff of Reflex already done, and Wand of Wild Horses already did.
All right, I'll go ahead and take one of your glass eyes and your incense. I need 200 gold worth, and then your powdered iron balls. I'll take 200 gold worth of that. And I'm done.
Okay.
So that's 16. How much was your glass eyes? I just need 1.
Let me go down there and see.
150.
Yep. 50 apiece.
Jarek will take all the ink
Okay.
and ask her to get more.
Okay. So, she says I may be able to give me some time, but may be able to put some more.
And I'll. How many holy waters did you take, Grim?
He took 2.
Okay, they're gone. All right, I'll take the rest.
No. There were 4, so there's 2 left.
Oh, you already changed it. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to keep up. I didn't catch up with everything, but I remember the holy water.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the rest of the incense. Is there 50 left? Is that right? Or 100 left? I mean.
Yeah, that'd be 100.
I'll take. I'll ask her if she has any. I'll pull out some chalk from my teleport spell, and it's fancy chalk with gold dust on it and stuff, and ask her if she has any of this, or she can get it.
She says, I don't have any currently, but I can probably lay my hands on some as well.
Yeah, I'd like to place an order for some.
Okay. All right. How much chalk are you trying to lay your hands on?
500.
Okay.
And what about? I'll pull out the scroll of fire shield that I created, and ask her if she has any scrolls for sale.
She kind of shakes her head. She says, no, I do not have any scrolls at this time. That's something that I could maybe, again, I deal with several vendors and traders and things like that. So I can try to, if you tell me specifically what you're looking for, but I can't make any promises.
And then I'll nod, and then I'll reveal the badge under my lapel, and I'll ask her again.
Okay. you will kind of see her, her eyes kind of wide. And again, you don't recognize her because she wasn't here when you were there, but so she doesn't recognize you, but she definitely recognizes the crest and says, any friend or close friend of the king of the kingdom itself is always welcome here. Again, I do not have any scrolls, but I will exert every bit of influence I have to try to get what you need. What is it that you're specifically looking for?
Well, actually, I have the ability to create them. I was going to ask if there was someone in town that is known to trade in them. Perhaps I could do some business with them.
I do not know of anyone that deals in spell scrolls.
Okay. Well, then I'll send word back with a list of potential things I would be interested in. Also, though, do you have any or know of anywhere I could get? I'll kind of pull out that wand of Wild Horse and ask her if she has any blank wands, if she knows who enchants wands. Perhaps I could buy a blank.
She says that is something that I am kind of one of the few dealers of magical items besides weapons themselves, swords and things like that. I may have some contacts that I can get just a simple wand for you if that's okay. I would need some time in order to do that though.
Yeah, I would like to see if you could get me some blank scrolls and maybe a couple of blank wands.
She says, again, anything for a friend of the crown. I will do everything that I can. As of late, I've had some difficulties in getting specific items because of competition here in town, but I will do the best that I can.
Thank you, and then I'll I'll look at that ring of arcane numbness, with a longing in my heart, and I'll ask if that 15,000 price is fixed or if it's flexible.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, my first roll, and it's a 9 or -1. That's 8.
Oh well, you never know. Hold on, I gotta find her. I'm so deep in this tree of inventory. Hold on. Where is it? God bless Almighty. A freak. That's against wisdom. So here. All right, so you roll persuasion. What was your roll?
8.
You gotta scroll over. Hold on, not scroll, but click over to the chat window. Oh, she rolled a 12. Okay.
Yeah.
She's not particularly wise, but she had a good. She will. She's not going to shoot you down because she's a business owner. So she's not going to immediately shoot you down. And again, you are wearing the crest, so she will let you know that there may be some wiggle room. Not much. That is obviously a very powerful item. But she says she kind of mulls it over a bit. And she says, I tell you what. She kind of looks around and she says she after a few moments or a few seconds of kind of looking around, she kind of leans over and she says, if you're willing to help me out, I might be able to cut some of the prices.
Well, perhaps there's a service we can provide.
She kind of nods slowly.
I know a few guys that can get some things done.
Hey, I have a crown. How much is it worth?
Grim kind of while while Carrick is talking to her, Grim kind of chimes in and throws his crown out of I don't know, was it on your head or was it just out?
want to hear what she has to say, but I want to know how much this is worth before we get too lost into this.
Okay. What's the crown made of?
I got off the dead king in the palace up on the hill.
All right, we'll say it's that'd be a gold crown, not a silver crown. I was having to do a quick look. It looks like, I don't know, silver is like 925 purity. I just was doing a quick Google. I was trying to find out. We'll say fair price of 1,800 gold pieces.
Okay.
Will be the amount she throws out. Now, if you're able to, again, that's just a quick and dirty of me trying to find out something that's.
That's fair. I mean, Jimmy.
Yeah, she's just going off of just looking at it. She doesn't, know where it came from or anything about it.
I'll have it appraised by a keener eye than yours. All right, next.
I guess.
We gotta.
I guess that's it for now. Unless y'all have anything else y'all want from her, I'll just remind her about the wands and the scrolls, and maybe we can do some trade and with that later. And then thanks.
Yeah, again, she'll simply piggybacking off of what she said. Yeah, if you're willing to help her out, then she may be able to do something about the prices.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess I would ask her what kind of help she needs then first before we leave.
She would disclose to you that she says, well, if you heard just a moment ago, you heard me mention that I have had some issues with the competition. It's not competition per se in that there's another magic shop in town. I have competing interests with, and she kind of looks around again. She kind of lowers her voice with someone that many consider to be besides the crown, one of the most powerful people here in Iathir. And she says he's a gentleman that owns a large portion of the Elven district, being of no elf himself, however. And she says he goes by the name of Volin Thorval. She says he has placed many of the business owners here under his thumb, under blackmail and threats of violence, and those that do not agree to pay some type of fee or protection or any type of commission for continuing their business here, he tends to make their life a living hell. And so many of my shipments or traders no longer do business with me because of that. And so my stock used to turn over quite quickly, but now I get half the customers and half the inventory that I used to. And she continues to talk and lets you know that she's not the only one that's had problems from this guy, that he's got a good portion of the city under his thumb. And there are even other rumors that he has, with the absence of the king, the public absence and appearances by the king, and the rumors of some type of illness that he may have, that she's heard murmurs that Folwyn has tried to initiate plans to take the power away from the king.
Is there something specific you need from us to get your shop running better? Like, you want us to kill this guy? I don't know. I'm confused.
No. I would never. I would, this is like grandma. This is like Aunt B here. That's
well, remember, Eric has no social.
Maybe we just have a small conversation with him.
Eric has no social skills. He's just he's blunt.
Yeah. She's, like I said, you're like talking to Aunt B in her kitchen. She's no, nothing that of that sort. I know.
Go grease the wheels with your suppliers, or.
No, we're just having a strongly worded conversation with him.
She says, speak to the commander. He could, he would be more comfortable with telling you. I've made reports to the commander. He would probably be more comfortable telling you than I would. But yes, if Thorval could be taken down a peg or two, we would be greatly appreciative.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll thank you for your time and give her an extra 10 gold for the trouble and good to go.
Okay. All right.
We're just spreading the gold around.
All right. So y'all will kind of meet back out in the square.
Walking out the door, I'll say, you can send word to the Citadel about these supplies I asked for.
Okay. Yeah. And she's made note of that. You saw her kind of make note of the request that you made. And with that, the three of y'all kind of step back out into the Elven market of the Elven district. And we've got, again, Ivor making his way to the Comfort District, and then the three of y'all, or is it four of y'all?
Yeah, I was going to talk to the foresaid.
Oh yeah, the three of you. Yeah, the three of y'all are kind of making your way back out into the amongst the ground. Baron has headed off to kind of take another look at the estate, the Thorval estate, to kind of do some recon. And so, Baron, as you approach Thorval's estate, you've kind of passed it once before when y'all were headed to try to find someone that dealt with jewels and things like that. You'll kind of make your way up to the edge of the grounds. It's a fairly large post, and it's not necessarily a gate per se, in that it's not like Willy Wonka type thing where
Right.
you see it way off in the distance. But there are some guards dressed in plain clothes. They aren't silver shroud.
I was just gonna walk straight up to it.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll just walk straight up to it.
Okay. You'll kind of walk straight up to the estate, and before you kind of cross onto the property grounds themselves, you'll be stopped by two individuals that will kind of hold their hand out and say, "Yes, sir. Do you have business here?"
Actually, I do. I'll take out one gold piece and say, take this to your ruler, your master, I guess.
They kind of look at you like not knowing what
they
to say about.
They can be as confused as they want to, but I'm gonna just say, take it. Go.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, they're going to kind of look at it as if you've handed them a rock. He says, "Sir, I plan on doing nothing of the sort. Do you have business here that other than peddling gold coins?"
Not with you.
Okay. He says, "Well, unless you have some stated business here, or there's some particular reason why we would announce your presence, we would ask you to continue your shopping." And he kind of points to the area behind you and says, "Enjoy the Elven district."
Okay. Fair enough.
Now make a Baron.
Make sure your boss gets that.
What?
Just make sure your boss gets that coin.
Okay. Yeah. While you're talking to them, make a perception check.
All right. Let me see. Perception. How'd I do? Not great.
That's so good. We haven't been really good tonight. Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second.
That's
Right. All right. So, all right. Let's see. What would you roll? You roll a 30. Okay. With that perception roll, you will, as you're kind of engaging in conversation with them, you are kind of darting your eyes around, looking past them, kind of taking stock of what you see as they kind of give you the brush off. You're going to see a decently sized contingent of kind of guards or mercenaries that kind of match their attire that are patrolling the ground. You kind of see them off in the distance. And again, this conversation with them has gone maybe 2 minutes or so, but just in that short period of time that you can see kind of as one walks past one direction and rounds a corner, you've seen others. You are able to see what appears to be a very large palatial estate in the middle of this estate. I mean, it's a very large building, but it appears to have gardens off to one side and fountains off to the other. Some kind of hedge maze areas off to one side. You can see another structure back behind the estate itself. You can't quite tell what it is, but it does appear to be a very large grounds. Think of if you ever been to Shreveport, like the Norton Estate, like behind the wall. Like there's lots of ways that you could get to, so to speak, woods and things that kind of create a perimeter around this estate. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you see a pretty decent number of mercenaries or guards that are kind of patrolling the area. As you kind of turn away as well, you kind of notice that that coin that you had given that guard, he kind of looks at, and you will see him say something to the guy that he was with, and he turns and he leaves, walking toward the estate.
With one coin?
Huh?
He left with just one coin?
I thought that's what you said. Didn't you say you gave him one?
I mean, I didn't flash my badge or anything, did I?
No, not you didn't say you did. Oh, well, you said you've been flashing everywhere, but specifically you didn't say at that time.
Okay. So
no, you just said you gave him a coin. Is that right?
Yeah, he just took the coin and walked. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't throw it away. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You noticed that he actually turned and he said something. You couldn't hear what he said, but you were able to pay attention enough as you kind of backed away and kind of walked the other direction. He actually took the coin and he was walking toward the estate.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. I mean,
Do you want
to keep
you
going
want to hang around any, or is that all you want to do?
No, I mean, I'll go.
I'm sorry.
I'll jump in this.
You're breaking up really bad on me.
I jump into it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I said I'll jump into this rabbit
I
hole.
can't hear you, Brock.
Jumping in something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're losing you.
Sorry.
Catch it every time he goes to say something, it stops.
Hello.
And then something's all I heard. Hey,
Hello.
Yeah, I heard you say hello. What'd you say you were going to do?
No, I said I can jump in this rabbit hole if y'all want me to, but
I don't care what anybody does. I'm just going as I'm just letting you know that that's what you were able to see.
Yeah.
If
I'll go whatever they want me to do. I'll go do.
Oh, are we back to Baron? Do we know where he's at?
I think Baron at this point is deciding if he's just going to hang tight there or whether he's going to join the group and then.
No, I'm hanging tight right here. I'm going to talk to Voel Darvel.
Okay.
You just tried that.
yeah.
No, I did that. I mean,
No, you
didn't try
tried
that.
his honor.
They're going to get
All
on
right,
it.
I'm going to message Baron, just ask him where he's at.
Oh, I'll say I'm at the docks.
Cool.
You're at the
All
docks.
right. So you'll get that message from Baron. So he is not going to, I guess, rejoin the group at this point. Grim and Carrick and Jack, what are y'all going to do?
I guess we can. Y'all want to head to the middle district, the shops? Isn't there a weaponsmith or somebody here? We can go see what he's got. I know Droot wants the new stuff.
Where is Drew?
Drew is back at the fight, which we'll jump to real quick if that's what he's wanting to do. Or y'all just tell me how y'all want to do it.
I'll do sending to Droot and say, hey, do you want a new weapon and armor and shield and sword and stuff? I know this guy. He's got the stuff.
So I just heard a voice in my head. Is that right?
Yeah, hopefully you recognize it as your old pal Carrick.
Oh shit, Carrick, how'd you do that? And then I'm just going to continue talking, thinking he can hear me.
Well, did you answer my question or no?
Well, this thing, I can only say so much, right?
25 words.
Okay, so I still got room after that first sentence. I was like, I don't really have any money.
Yeah, Drew doesn't know what he's doing, so we need a intelligence minimum for this party community members. Everybody has to pass an IQ test. I don't need any magical swords and stuff. I kind of would like to peruse the market, but we're getting kind of long in the tooth here. If you want to fast forward to dinner with the king or the fight or whatever, I don't care.
Well, I don't want to do anything. I've got shop, but you can do whatever you want. You've spent 8 sessions in a dungeon. You can do whatever you want.
Let's get me over with. I mean, I'm gonna either die or not. Let's just do this.
By himself.
Okay. All right.
By himself.
All right, so we'll stick real quick with Baron. You're going to kind of step back. You don't kind of stand at the gate. You were kind of keeping a close eyes to how they reacted after your interaction with them. Again, you saw that guy, that guard, kind of walk off with the coin. You notice that he did not toss it to the side or trash it. Despite the brush off that he gave you. Maybe 30 minutes pass, and you will kind of see that guard kind of come back to his post. And let me see here. Where's this thing? Hold on. So many freaks. How did you keep all of this straight, Trevor?
Not
Let's see here.
It was mass chaos on my side. I just played it off.
He is going to notice you, Baron, standing off kind of to the side. He is going to leave his post and step further out into the street, and you're going to see him kind of beckon you to approach.
Okay, I'll approach.
He will, as you approach him, he'll say, Thorval will see you. We would request that you leave your weapons at the gate.
That's not standard protocol on my side, so that won't happen.
Hey, I think I want to break off and, according to what's her name's advice, go talk to this Durval guy as well.
Well, hang on.
So I want to.
Yeah.
I'll be there in a minute.
Take a second,
Yeah, I'll go with Grim.
I'm gonna roll in with my weapon.
But,
not to be. I'm not. I won't be.
I'm sorry. What?
I won't be opposing. But who's the guard I'm looking at?
No, yeah. No, you didn't say that in a way that would be antagonistic. You just let him know that that's not your standard operating procedure there.
Yeah.
And he is going to say, he's going to simply say, well, while that may not be your normal protocol, We don't know who you are, and it was instructed that you would be granted access, a visit with Thorval, which he does not normally do. But as we don't know who you are, we would again say that the rule of thumb on this is if you'd like to meet with Thorval as you've asked to or requested to, you would need to relinquish your weapons here at the gate. You can collect them on your way out. And you can say whatever you want to say. You can try to persuade, or you can do some other. Tell me how you want to play it.
Well, I will take off my crossbow, heavy crossbow, give it to him.
Okay.
And hand him my sword.
Okay.
And as he walks away from me,
well, you'll hand them to him. He'll hand those to his kind of cohort in crime, the other guard that was there, who will place them kind of in a spot behind
away,
the.
As the sword walks away, I'm gonna bring it back with the chain of returning and said, "This is coming with me."
Okay. All right. So as you hand those to him, and he goes to carry them and place them in a place of safekeeping, but kind of behind the gate, you have it returned to you. Is that something that he is able to see? Like, is it like come to you like a boomerang? Appear?
Hell, it might damage him. I don't know, but it's coming back to me. I'm not leaving without my sword.
No, yeah, yeah, that's fine. You're breaking up real bad. I can't. Does that come back to you like a boomerang, or is it like Roland's knives? They just appear back in on your
it's
person.
Like a boomerang. They would see it.
It's a strength check. You pull on the chain.
It's a physical chain that is attached to his.
Okay, gotcha. So then, right, I would assume go ahead and roll it, but I'm assuming that again, the only thing that's going to fail is a 1. Which you actually did. I think you did roll that one time in the fight.
He can't.
He can hold.
Roll 1.
All right. So as you do that, it is going to snap out of this guy's hands and back to you. They are going to react as you would expect, in that with it being such a sudden movement and sudden action, they are going to not necessarily draw their weapons, but they're going to kind of take defensive stance, as if they are ready to act based on the suddenness of that snapping back of the sword back to you. And the one that you have been conversing with is going to say, I don't know what kind of tricks you are attempting to play here, but this Thorval is not one to be trifled with. He is trying to be accommodating, and if you are going to refuse to relinquish your weapons, we have strict orders to deliver you there. He wants to meet with you. Then you're going to be taken or escorted, armed guard.
Perfect. Let's go. Chop, chop.
Okay. All right. As you do that, instead of him leading you there, we'll kind of hang there a few moments, and you will see several other mercenaries kind of join up, and they will, again, none of them have their weapons drawn or anything like that, but instead of like a Sunday afternoon stroll, you are kind of being escorted by armed guard past the gate into the estate itself. You will, let's see here. Let me find this place. All right. Oh, 1 second. It is going to take just a second for this thing to load.
Oh, I'm going to a map. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you're about to go to a map. It's a big map. It's going to take a second for it to load.
See you later, guys.
Fight them all, or
Yeah. You on a suicide mission? I don't know what you're doing.
All right. Baron, tell me if this does what it's supposed to do. In just a second, I'm going to describe what's happening, and then whoa, that did not do. All right. Hold on, it's really lagging. This is a big map. Hold on. All right. You are going to be taken past a large kind of stone columns that kind of take you further into the estate. You're going to approach this giant house that you recently saw from a distance when you were talking to them at the gate. They're going to take you through up some steps. This is a very large, very well kept estate.
I'm going to interrupt real quick, boys. I'm going to bed.
I
Okay. See you, bud. You are going to see similar to what you saw, Baron, previously, just from outskirts. You're going to see lots of mercenary or guards, whatever you want to call them, hired guns, kind of walking around the perimeter of the estate. You have 3 of these guys that are kind of escorting you. You'll go up these steps, and then you'll go into some very large wooden oak doors, actually into the main foyer of this house, this estate. It's going to be very well furnished. They are going to stop you in this foyer. You will see some more guards kind of all in, walking down the halls and things like that. One of the guys, the one that you've been talking to, is going to inform you that he will return shortly. The other 2 will stay there with you. He will walk north and then down a hall to your right, to the east. He will return back maybe roughly 60 to 90 seconds later and let you know that Thorval is ready to see you. And then the 3 of them will walk you to the door of what appears to be, as you kind of come in, what appears to be a study. And you will find Thorval. There will be multiple chairs sitting out in front of a fireplace. And you will see what you believe to be this individual Thorval sitting there. And let me now try to take you to the map. If this does not change and you don't get the perspective you're supposed to have, let me know.
That's fine.
Let's see here. Here you go.
I'm about to murder myself.
All right. Are you looking into the study and you see the guy there?
Give me 1 second to move some stuff.
Powerful in town.
this is the rich guy.
Yeah, he meets the king, and he apparently has a private army. He owns businesses in town.
This is the one that nobody likes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So was that what you're looking at, the room with like the fireplace and him sitting in a chair?
That's right.
Okay, good. All right. So you've got the guys behind you, and they say, Mr. Thorval will see you now. And so you're on the map. So Thorval kind of stands up from his chair and says,
I'll greet him.
he nods and he says, welcome to my home. Please have a seat. And he motions to a chair next to him. And you can sit wherever you'd like.
Yeah, I'll sit.
And okay, the one that you've been talking to is going to kind of come into the room, and then the other 2 are going to kind of, that you've seen, that you'll see them kind of, they're going to stand outside the door, and Mr. Thorval will say, that is an interesting, well, I guess this conversation, I guess, just for full, do you want me to have this here, or how do you want to do it? I mean, how do you want me to handle this, Baron?
No, we're good. We can have it right here.
Okay, gotcha. All right, bud. He's going to say that's an interesting coin that you sent my way. How may I be of help to you?
I have a problem with the king?
And he goes, you kind of see him pause and almost fight back a grin or a smile and go, what king would that be?
Your king. I don't think you need to play coy.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, that's perception.
Woo!
That's perception.
I'll say that's. I'll go ahead and have him make his wisdom.
Yeah. You don't just straight
Now,
wisdom.
just let me know when you roll your persuasion.
Yeah.
All right. He will say, again, a businessman, straight to the point. So, you have a problem with King Lithvir. What is your problem?
I believe we need some protection for him. I need some protection for him, and I believe you're the man to do it.
From him or for him?
For him.
Protection for him. His smile will kind of disappear, and almost kind of like you kind of took him by surprise. I apologize, sir. First, when you said you had a problem with the king, I thought you did not agree with his rule. You're actually looking help for him, but let's back up here. May I ask your name? You know my name, apparently. I'd like to know yours.
My name is Baron von Leopold Hill. Am I breaking up?
Okay. Mr. Hill, why do you feel as though the king needs help, and why do you believe that I would be able to help him?
I've already paid my coin. You know why you can help him, and you know why I can help him.
He will pause for a moment, and he will bring out the coin that you had sent his way, and he'll kind of flip it over his fingers and kind of palm it and look at it, almost like he's studying. And he goes, I believe you may be partially mistaken. It does bear some importance as far as what it means. The importance that it holds to me may be less than what you actually think it is. It is great enough to get you an audience with me, but make no mistake, I have very few dealings with them.
It's fair enough. What do you know
So
about
more
the?
specifically, you tell me not to be coy. I would ask for you specifically what help. Huh?
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, go ahead.
I couldn't hear you, Baron. You cut out again. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, something's reverbing here.
I didn't hear you, but he said, like, again, to be more specific, what is it that you need from me, and why do you believe that I can and would help you?
I was told you could help.
He states that, while it is true, I do have the ability and the means, and he kind of waves his hand around to kind of, as you would expect, to kind of, make a point that, he has obviously the means. says, I choose those that I would help as long as it helps myself. So he says, I would be willing to possibly entertain this idea of your problem with the king and how I may be of assistance if you would in turn help me.
I just got here, man. I mean, I don't know what you need.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Brock, can you hear us?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything he said.
No,
He said he just got here. That's all he said.
his connection is terrible.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything I said, Baron?
Barely. Hang on.
Oh,
He's way behind.
he must be, because I'm confused because I'm trying to carry on based on what he's saying, but I'm not getting any responses.
I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, bro, you're breaking up after almost every word.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I saw his mouth move, and then it came.
Yeah.
So now, no, nothing.
Yeah, it's better.
Better.
Yeah. All right. So Baron, apparently there's either some severe lag or something on your end, and so I'm not sure what I'm describing on his end during his half of the conversation was actually making it to you.
Okay. So can y'all hear me?
Apparently that didn't make it to him.
Well,
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna call you, Baron, and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah. Call me.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Let's see here. Info.
Your mouth moved.
I can call you.
I got it. All right. Let's see if we can.
Hello.
Oh yeah. This delayed.
Brock, mute yourself.
All right. What I'm going to do.
I have to walk away from this.
Jared, put him on speaker so we can hear.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, you walk away but I'll put it on, since we were talking on the thing. I'm going to go ahead and put you on speaker so everybody can hear.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Can y'all hear him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard me say, Baron?
Oh, it was, I mean, you tell me, because I honestly can't remember. I rolled for persuasion, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, he did.
I'm trying to remember what you persuaded. I'll tell you what, we'll just do the Cliff Notes version of this. Basically, you came in there and you said, during your conversation with him, you said that you had a problem with the king. And so he reacted in a way that seemed favorable to that statement. And then when he said, what's your problem with the king, as if he was interested in that problem, you said you needed help for the king. And so he then was kind of taken aback, like he had been confused by your initial statement where he had inferred that you had a problem with King Lithvir, and that you then changed to you had a problem and you needed help for him. And so he seemed disappointed at that. And then he questioned to you as to what was the specific problem or the help that you needed for the king and why you felt that he would help you. And then your response, if I remember correctly, was, why you have the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then his response to that was he took the coin out and kind of took a look at it. And then he responded in a way that said, I think you might be slightly mistaken. While this coin does have enough importance to grant you an audience with me, this is not something that carries enough clout or significance that I would just simply help on a whim. That's kind of what he relays to you.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to know my enemy.
Know my enemy
At
this point.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Real quick. I'll let you go ahead and do that. posted up there. Is that a spell or a skill?
It's a skill.
Know your enemy. I need.
It's class level above a 10, below a 10.
Below 10.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let me do this here. All right, as you do that, class level, he's below you.
Okay. And he wouldn't know any of this.
And he wouldn't know any of this, but let's go with.
I get to know 2 of these things.
I get to know 2 of these things,
I went class level,
so we'll go with
dexterity.
Dexterity, Constitution. How about that?
Okay. Constitution.
He
it would be below mine, which is F. That's a bad one to choose.
That's right. What's yours? I don't have yours pulled up.
No, I got it.
Hang on.
His Constitution would be
above or below
a 16, or
its
modifier would be a 3.
It's below.
Okay.
He would also, again, one of the things that you missed was he was saying, so he was basically kind of rebutting the significance of the ring, kind of letting you know that it was just enough to kind of get you an audience with him, but that he has cursory contact with what this coin represents. And while he knows of it and of that person or persons, his contact with them is infrequent at best. However, he seems interested in why. Again, he reiterates why he should help you or needs your help, and then he offered a quid pro quo and said that he would be willing, possibly, to consider your request if you would be willing to help him.
I'm not willing to make a deal.
I'm not willing to make a deal at any point right now.
Okay.
I just had to
make contact.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you have his. I'll tell you what. Make an insight check.
At least I'm +1 on something.
+1 on something.
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
He is at this point in time, just in this initial meeting, he's difficult for you to read. But again, just based on just the pure conversation and the amount of people you've had contact with over this period of time, you're able to tell that he's slightly interested in what you have to say and maybe actually has something to offer. But you definitely get the feeling that he's just not going to proffer it willingly. That that there's going to need to be some quid pro quo.
Sure. And also, can everybody hear this?
I don't know.
Yeah, we can say it again.
There's a slight issue with the Mountain
Millhouse.
Okay.
Are you aware of that?
Yeah,
I know you're aware of that.
No, you're aware of that.
You're asking Thorvald if he's aware of that.
Yeah.
You kind of see him smile, and he says, "I see you have met Millhouse. What would you say of your interaction with him? What problem do you have?"
No problem. I would say I know
he has a debt with you. Is that correct?
Make a persuasion check.
I thought we already knew
that.
Well, it was in the story, but he doesn't know that we know it.
You know it from the rumors and from what Graham was talking to from that conversation, but this is your first conversation with him. All right, so your persuasion was greater than his wisdom check, so he will smile and he will nod his head and say, everyone is indebted to me, one way or the other.
As far as Malden, how much in debt would
he be?
Let's put it this way, he is disposable.
Interesting. Disposable in
what way?
Any way that I see fit.
Okay. So
Okay. So
there's no amount of gold
that could save his life.
There's no amount of gold that would save it unless there is a good reason. As of right now, he makes me good money with the pit, and he is prompt with his payments. So I would have no reason to, unless you are this line of questioning is because you are aware of some misdeeds he has committed with my establishment up in the slums.
Well, let's do this.
Let's do what do we want to do?
What do we want to do here?
Insight. Oh, okay.
I don't know shit.
So yeah, I'll ask him.
I'll simply ask him. Are there misdeeds that I need to know of?
You make a persuasion check.
I did.
It was garbage.
Oh, that was an insight to what he said, whether you felt like he was telling the truth or not. Now, if you're asking him point blank, make a persuasion, and he'll roll his.
Just beat him.
He will again. He'll kind of give a smile and say, "Let's put it this way." You don't become indebted to me unless you've made some type of mistake or made some type of enemy here in Iather, and it just so happens he's done both with me, and so now he is indebted permanently to me.
College. I understand. You're a businessman, and I
respect that.
He nods.
And
I don't plan on being indebted.
Indebted to you.
As long as we have that straight.
We're good to go.
He says, again, few are granted an audience with me unless it's for the wrong reasons. But you are, as far as I know at this point, a guest that I gladly welcome. Please think over my. And he kind of nods back and forth as to whether it's really an offer or not, but he uses the word offer. If you're willing to maybe do a little bit of work for me, I would be willing possibly to return the favor.
That's certainly a possibility, but I would also ask to be granted some flexibility in this city. So if there's coin involved in that, I'm amenable to coin being involved in that. But as far as favors or debt, that's not gonna favors possibly debt.
He goes. He seems to kind of mull that over for a few moments and says, I can tell that you're a businessman as well. He almost seems like respect would be a dangerous word, but you can kind of tell that he can tell that you're not a fool. And he says, you are more wise than many of the people that so cavalierly enter into agreements with me. Fair enough. I will offer for our first meeting the chance at some coin if you were to handle a problem of mine that some of my more incompetent mercenaries have been unable to do.
Kill Miriam.
Okay. I will take that under advisement.
I have a group
that could probably handle that. Probably.
He nods. He nods and says, "Well, he goes on to then explain. He says, we'll use this as a barometer as to whether we can have a working relationship or not." And he goes on to describe to you that most recently he has had some shipment problems with items of considerable value to him. And that those more foolish than those that live in Iather have waylaid his shipment. He believes he believes that it is a band or a group of he believes it to be a group of bandits that have waylaid one of his shipments west of
bandits
that have
waylaid their shipments
west of what?
West of Iathir. There's a cave that he believes, based on his the reconnaissance information that he's received, that they have taken his sizable shipment into the cave. However, his efforts thus far have failed by some of his associates that are no longer employed with him. And he kind of smiles at that. You get the feeling that not only are they not employed with him, but they are not amongst the living. And he says, I'm willing to pay you. He kind of mulls it over. I'm willing to pay you 4,000 gold pieces to handle this little problem of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how would I contact you if we were willing to take on this encounter? Or
He
shall we
takes
just
that.
take care of it and let you know about it?
He actually kind of nods to both. He flips you the coin back and says, if you would like to contact me or visit with me again, simply bring this coin or send word with someone with this coin to the gate. If you would like to take care of it, then I would simply like my shipment and the head of know that the deed is done.
That's good.
That's good.
We'll certainly probably take care of that. But as far as you know, you have no problem with the king. Yeah.
Problem with the king? Roll. He will say, "Oh no, I fully support the king and his rule." Now, we'll roll an insight check.
Okay, we're gonna do this a few times.
Oh, Baron believes him.
With the man.
And also the king's commander.
He with that he goes. I have no care, no desire to be coy with that. I believe that the commander is naive and ignorant of his in his command, and I would be fully. I'd be fine if he fell off the face of the Aglarondon Peninsula.
Well, with that, I will bid you adieu. Is it safe for me to exit with my weapons?
Oh yes. He informs you. He says, "Well, he stands up and extends his hand to shake your hands in agreement, and then says, "Oh, you are most welcome to continue to carry your weapons, but my men will show you to the gate."
Okay. I'll leave and
be done with that.
Okay. All right. So you will kind of head out of the mansion the way in which you came. We'll kind of drag you back to the Elven district.
I'll let somebody else talk. I
didn't mean to take up too much time, but
no, you're fine. You got him a job.
Well, I need.
Well, they don't know you got him a job, but I mean, as of now, Baron's at least got a job.
Good news, boys! 2,000 gold pieces for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the off. I think I got.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think I got. Well, hang on.
All right. So, y'all will. You will probably be led up to the gate by the guard at the same time that Jack and Grim are kind of standing at the gate. Because if I remember correctly, Grim and Jack had gone to the estate. Is that correct, Grim?
Yeah, we were just trying to
Yeah.
scope it out.
Okay, so you're kind of standing there, and as Baron is led up there by the group, by this group of guards, you will, as you approach the gate to exit, you will see kind of Grim and Jack doing the same thing you were doing at the beginning, kind of chatting with the guards that had replaced the ones that had led you back there. I mean, it's not an argument or anything, but they're kind of asking like, "Hey, hey, what's this place all about?" type thing. And so you will see Baron.
I'm looking at the docks. I'm looking for my friend. Yeah, we're just scoping it out. We didn't mean to like try to get interest. We just wanted to like put eyes on it.
Oh no, that's what I said. That's why I said you didn't say you were trying to get interest. You were just saying, "Hey, what's this place about?" You were just kind of talking.
Yeah.
And so you'll see, like I said, you will see then Baron approach from the inside, and he will kind of meet up with you right outside the gate. And y'all three will be together with Carrick, wherever Carrick. Ivor is in the Comfort District. I don't know at this point where Carrick is.
I sent you a DM. I was going to stroll quickly through the center. Well, Carrick, of course, has 18,000 things he wants to do, but in the interest of time, tell me if you want to handle any of these tonight. I obviously want to go to the library and talk to the oldest elf alive.
Okay.
And then I'm kind of making my way through the central merchant area, so I'm going to stroll through there quickly, and then I'm interested in the magic weapon shop too. I want to go there, but I don't know if I want to go by myself because I'm sure some other people want to go there too. But and then talk to the king. So I got like 3 or 4 things I want to do, but we don't have to do them all now or tonight.
I got none but time. But here's what I'll do. We'll assume that. Because we'll assume that you went to the library because I seriously doubt anybody else cared about going to the library while Baron was at the estate and while Grim and Jack were kind of...
Logistically, though, I'd have to walk through the merchant district first, right?
No, not to get to the library.
Oh, okay. Well, then, all right. Well, shoot me to the library then.
Okay. All right. You'll... Here's the library. All right, so you'll be at the Jedi Archives.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you will, when you walk in, you will be obviously hit by the smell of old dusty books, and so Carrick
instantly at home.
He gets a mild academic orgasm.
Chubby when I walk in the door
to the place, and so let me scroll. God, I have so much crap here. You're greeted when the door opens. You kind of walk in. You spend a few moments in there looking, and this old, God bless this old man, kind of comes crawling out from behind one of the counters and mountains of books, and seems thoroughly surprised that he's had a visitor here. And he kind of takes the book dust off his spectacles, and as he kind of walks up to you and puts them on, his eyes kind of widen and he recognizes you immediately. Whatever for holy smokes, whatever elven version of that would be, he kind of throws his arms in the air and almost falls over. Because he is ancient, and walks up to you, kind of gives you a hug, and says, "Welcome home." I assume it's how the hell do you say your name?
Phil, that'll work.
There you go. I'm going to say Carrick, but he doesn't say Carrick. He says your real name.
Okay, fine. He knows me. Do I know him?
Oh yeah.
That's a backstory question, I guess. I don't have.
Yeah. You would know who he is because again,
he would have been
grew up here.
Or tutor or something.
Say that again.
Would he have been like a tutor when I was growing up?
Oh yeah, I mean he was. You spent time in the library. He would have. You would be familiar with the library and with him. He immediately recognized you.
All right, I'll just tell him I'm here. At the request of my brother, but we're kind of I'm not making my presence known to the general public yet, and I would appreciate your discretion if at all possible.
He says he seems surprised that that you would want to err on the side of secrecy because he seemed genuinely glad to see you. But he says most people I get so few visitors here and so few people talk to me. I doubt I don't even know who I would tell in the first place.
Well, get me a library card and open me an account, buddy.
Okay.
I'll ask you. Clearly I have lots of things I want to research. So I don't know how you want to handle that necessarily, but I will.
I guess tell me what it is that you're wanting to research.
Well, first off, it would be anything to do with number one is going to be the Ancient One, right?
Okay.
Anything I can find out about him. Number two would be anything I can find out about vampirism.
Okay.
And the affliction of that. And then number three would be anything to do with ancient or with wizardry or spell scrolls or anything like that. And
okay.
I'll just remind you of that character feat that I took when I made my character.
Sure. When you attempt to learn a copy, so if you don't know the information, you have to know where and who you usually obtain it. So it just comes in the form of a library.
I'm in a library. I can find whatever I want.
All right.
If it's unavailable, then I'm able to find out where it is. That sort of
gotcha.
thing. So if the information is not here, at least I'll have an idea of where to go to learn it.
Got it. All right. You will, let's take this one at a time. The first thing was about the Ancient One.
Yep.
You will kind of sit down with this guy and we'll fast forward through this quick, but we'll say you're there for a good bit of time as y'all kind of discuss and catch up. And after
I don't mind this taking several days of whatever, if that's the way you want to play it, but I know it's asking a lot to kind of just say, hey, tell me about everything.
No. But as you said, for the sake of time, what we're going to do is we're going to say that you're going to be the last one to the castle, and this is what you do for the evening. So any shopping is going to have to be for you is going to have to be the next day.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're going to say you spend the better part of the entire afternoon and the evening catching up with your old friend, and after all the pleasantries are over, you get to brass tacks and you start talking about specifically those things that you just asked, and the conversation turns from that one of pleasant things and that to somewhat of a darker tone as you kind of explain to him all of the things that have kind of transpired and since your banishment and why you're back. Are you going to tell him? Because at this point, you would or wouldn't know what's wrong with he wouldn't know whether anything that's wrong.
No, I would not tell him the Kings of Empire. I would tell him that we have had some dealings with the Ancient One, and we have heard stories of dark creatures and werewolves and vampires in the area.
Gotcha.
And since we're going to be here and cleaning shop, I just need to know all I can about it.
Gotcha.
Oh, I will not reveal the king's secret.
Gotcha. All right. So he is going to, the first thing as far as the Ancient One specifically, he is going to draw a blank on that. He is going to tell you that I don't know the phrase of the Ancient One. There's always rumors that the sky is falling and the end times are near. He refers back to the king and saying that, he knows that something's amiss with the king because he hasn't made any public appearances in years, and that there are rumors that he is ill, but he has not heard of anything specific to the Ancient One. However, according to your skill, it says that if it's it says you would know where it is.
Yeah, or that it cannot be found.
So it can be found.
Okay. Then I guess it says that I would know where to look for the information.
All right. You would, as you have this conversation and you pose all where's your book?
It's in it's in the haversack in the pocket plane with the bird. It's doubly spirited away.
You are going to have some form of enlightenment or revelation. You're going to have some type of revelation where you realize, again, connecting the dots, since that's the way this skill works, the information that you seek is in that book.
Is in the book itself.
is in the book itself.
Okay.
Information regarding the Ancient One is in the book itself.
Okay. Cool.
That's the first thing. The second thing, as far as the research on vampirism and all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to find text and things that talk about, those things that you just spoke about, the vampirism, the werewolves, things of like that. When you research that stuff, you will engage in conversation with him. He will let you know that while he doesn't know anything about this Ancient One, he can confirm that there are reports not only from travelers and from those citizens themselves, but from information that he's just heard when the Silver Shroud passed by, that there are reports of increasing attacks from the Yearwood, that there have been caravans that have been waylaid by the undead, different beasts. Some tell stories of people that turn into creatures and animals and then turn back, and that there may be these creatures amongst the citizens themselves. And so he'll kind of confirm all of the fears that you've had that kind of coincide or confirm the information that the king gave you about that stuff.
Specifically, could I ask him about weaknesses and strengths of, say, vampires? How to kill them, or what they're good at, what they're bad at, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It would be what's in the the ancient books, and kind of like like if you were to go to the library here and find out the Inquisitor version of what the rumors are and the legends are of how to handle those things. Hold on one second, and I can tell you more specifically. Okay. You kind of are able to kind of ascertain that there are a lot of different types of vampires, of varying degrees of skill, of weaknesses. It can be difficult in your research to separate fact from fiction, but you see some of the ancient legends of things such as sunlight killing vampires, stakes through the heart, running water. You see kind of one continuous pattern or vein in all the text that talks about forbiddance, meaning vampires typically can't enter in a residence without the invitation of one of its occupants.
Sure.
They've been known to be able to conjure other creatures, conjure other undead, that they are able to maybe change themselves into other creatures, both flying and ground dwelling. That there are some that say that there are vampires that there's some type of hierarchy, and that the higher you go in the hierarchy, the less weaknesses and the less the more resistances and more immunities and less sensitivities that they have. There are some that have been said to have been existing for thousands of years that dwarf the power of any creature known in Faerun. You are able to kind of get information on things like the werewolves that talk about that there are rumors or legends that they are people that were once bitten, and that they can change forms from one to the other, and that there's different types of werewolves. There are the typical werewolves, there's bears, there's rats, there's all kinds of different types that can change.
A were-rat?
Yep.
Is it like big, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter big, or?
This is all legend, so you don't know for sure as to what it's actually able to do. You are able to, as far as being a shape changer, like werewolves are typically thought to be. They do not have many weaknesses, and one of the few things that you kind of holds true to all the research that you do is that they are completely immune laced with certain types of elements, such as silver. And so that's kind of the research that you're able to gain on vampires and werewolves.
Cool.
Then to the third thing, like I think you said, what?
Anything in general, like to do with magic, like any books about particular schools of magic, or things I could research to find new spells, basically.
Right. You've spent a good bit of time in this library as growing up, so there's not anything in here that you don't already know as far as spells or things that you read as a child, and where you are at currently. You know most of the stuff. However, you are able to. You spend a good bit of time in there, and he kind of helps you kind of look through some stuff. You are able to come across two particular things buried deep under the volumes of books that mean nothing. You are able to find two particular tomes of great interest to you, and the first one is the. Hold on one second. Let me move it here now that you've got it. All right. The first one is you kind of come across it covered in dust and buried underneath everything. But once you kind of wipe all the trash off of it, it's a green book that's got some strange writing on it. And as you kind of peruse the pages, you have found a tome of dexterity.
Oh, nice.
And with this, you got to spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book, and your dexterity score, whoever does that, your dexterity will increase by 1.
Oh, 1 point?
No.
Huh?
Yeah, 1 point?
Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah, I'm gonna set that aside.
And then you also find another book that looks similar to it, and you have found a tome of intelligence.
Now, do these increase past 20, or are they capped at 20?
No, this will increase past 20.
What?
Mm-hmm. But it's only by 1, though.
Yeah, it's just by 1.
Well, I am an elf. I could read it multiple times, I guess, over the course of my life.
Yeah, but it's taken us 3 years to go 6 months, so it regains its magic after a century. So that'll be
Carrick is going to be the only one alive. Yeah, by then I'll be living in my.
You research all of that. You find all that out. You talk to him. Is there anything else that you need from him?
No, but just I guess quickly, and I guess this was kind of my catch-all, and would have hopefully found these items, but. As I'm making one last pass through the stacks, I'm gonna cast detect magic as I'm walking through, and just see if anything pings as I walk through the library.
As you do all that, you will ping something. Will ping, and it will be a box and near the exit that almost is like a lost and found with all kinds of trash in it. But as you kind of walk out, you get an SOS of magic from there, letting you know that there's something of value in there. And so you kind of root through all the stuff, and you find one of these.
Oh, does Home Slice know what's up?
Oh no, that dude's ancient. He has no idea what's going on.
He doesn't see me looking at this?
No.
Let's see. Merely touching the amulet gives you advantage on all skill checks and saving throws for a couple of hours, and then it destroys.
Yeah, so
it's one-time use.
Yeah, well, so yeah, once you've picked it up by the thing, but once you touch it, you'll roll a 1d10, and basically we'll say once you activate it, you'll roll a 1d10, and for that number of hours, you'll have advantage on all skill checks.
I assume like I can pick it up by the chain or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You kind of pick it up by the chain.
So
okay.
1 hour.
I'll oh man, if he's not looking at all and he's completely oblivious, I'm gonna just put it in my pocket. But if he sees me looking in the box, I'll ask him about it.
He is this dude again he barely knows what time of day it is. He lives in this place, so you're able to take it without any.
And the other books, the 2 books, I'm definitely going to take those but I'll ask him if I can have them, I guess.
Oh, he says absolutely. He never gets anybody in here. The books are yours to take.
And I'll ask him just quickly, before I leave, is there anything he needs? Like, what does he need? Is there anything my brother could do for him?
No, he just could use some more visitors.
More visitors.
He gets lonely.
We'll work on that public meeting campaign. And I'll tell him I'll definitely be back when I have more questions.
Okay.
I'll thank him for the awesomeness that he has provided me.
No, he will go back to his books and his study and lost in thought.
That's huge. Yeah, Carrick is happy with his finds. And I'll gladly stroll on to the castle and call that the end of my day.
All right, so yeah, we'll say all that was happening while anybody else was doing their stuff. So while he was lost in the library and Baron was up at the estate, Grim and Jack were kind of hanging out, just kind of scoping out the estate and kind of talking. We can go back to Jarut, who has been up there watching some fights and popping some popcorn and enjoying the sights. And did you want to hop into a fight, a one-on-one, or did you want to do some fact finding, or what did Jarut want to do?
Well, I say I'm probably about to call tonight. I just didn't want to miss any important points there in the library, learning about the ancient one. But I got to be up early.
You mean your world is not closed up in Oklahoma?
No, I got to be up at like 6:30. So
still slinging them cars. Interest rates are going down, baby.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
We're still,
I think they're almost negative at this point.
Yeah, they're getting close.
We're selling.
They're
man.
0.2.
So yeah, I was just hanging on about It's Anything story.
I mean, I'll fight somebody if y'all want me to,
But I'm calling it a night, guys.
All right, man.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I got it the same.
all right, Jimmy.
But pick it up here next time.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right.
That was a good preface to something.
All right, let's see here. So I guess thus far you've got you got plenty of people and plenty of shopping still left to do, or anything y'all want to do. Several definitely avenues that y'all haven't even touched. There's a lot y'all can do. But also, I guess for your own little, because I'm not going to do it in the journal, so y'all can do it in your Evernote or in your side text. 2 side things that you can do this point that you've discovered that you can go out and do is take a look in the Yearwood Forest and go looking for some. I'm assuming, is Baron going to share that with the group? The bandit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we'll call them quote unquote side activities that are outside of Iathir, would be thus far the forest and the bandit cave is what we'll call it.
And the forest was the one I found, or the caves?
That was the one that Ivor kind of got the warning of not to go into the forest, that death, darkness, and horrible things
caves,
are in the forest.
I mean, can I go to the Iron Hammer real quick and find us maybe a potential?
Yeah, let them do something.
Well, yeah, that was like something from hours ago. Go for it.
Can I do that real quick? And then when we jump back on, like, hey, after you guys got off, Mark.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. You said that. I mean, open that file. I mean, this is crazy how deep my little folders are going. Hold on. The Iron Hammer.
It's in the Comfort District. I was told to go there and ask about potential properties.
That's right. All right. So Ivor is going to head up while all this crap is going on. Ivor is going to kind of stroll up into the Comfort District, passing back through the main thoroughfare of shops, and head north back toward the gate. You'll walk a little bit, and then you'll see you'll recognize it because y'all passed it on the way in. The Iron Hammer. It looks it's getting kind of late in the afternoon, in the early parts of the evening, so it's kind of getting rowdy at this point. But you'll kind of walk in, and you will hopefully that pop back up. I guess I could have drugged you to it. Where is the Iron Hammer?
Oh, there's Fred.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the Iron Hammer right there. There you go. That should have taken you to the page. So yeah, you'll kind of be there, and you'll kind of walk up,
looking for my favorite dwarven lady. Where's Freya?
Oh yeah, you're gonna walk up to the barkeep. That's kind of there's a big crowd in there. You're gonna wait kind of wait till the crowd kind of clears enough for you to get close enough to the bar, and you're gonna ask for the esteemed and wonderful. Let's see here. Where's her name?
How is that impossible? I have a 14 armor class. So the wizard has a 22 armor class?
He will in 48 hours.
He can give that book to somebody else.
Oh, he's not. Don't worry. I have an odd dexterity. It's about to be even.
So you are going to ask for the Miss Freya Hammerfist.
Freya.
The owner, the proprietor of the Iron Hammer, and you'll ask for her. He'll kind of ask. We'll cut through all the gobbledygook, but he'll first say, "Well, who's asking?" You'll let him know Ivor and say, "Well, hold on, she's busy." And while you're waiting on him to find her, you'll kind of take a look up at the board, and that way I can go ahead and throw this out there. You'll see all the prices and the amenities that the Iron Hammer has. A couple of days with messages.
What now?
What's that?
I didn't say anything. Did somebody say something?
I thought you did.
I didn't. I just said I was just getting this ready. The board. It should be updated now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Get you a steak and ale. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna ask.
30 gold, a month's wages for a steak and ale.
I'll ask Freya if I could spend some time with her.
Oh,
Personally.
Oh wow! All right. She says, "Sure, my love," and she says, "I'm in the middle of tending bar right now, but if you give me a few moments, I might be able to tear myself away for a few moments."
Yeah.
And so,
we need to attend to something else, Freya. Come on back. Where can I meet you?
So you'll kind of wait a while. You'll just kind of hang out, and at some point she'll kind of come around from the bar and say, she'll kind of ask you, real jolly looking little dwarven lady, and ask you
reverb or something in the back.
She'll kind of look up out.
I'm trying to stop this.
I can give him 2 points for.
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
I was in the Trevor, I guess.
Okay, so I'm kind of flirty with Freya.
Flirty McFlirty.
Yeah, she's like I said. She's you had to wait a little bit, but she's come back from around the side of the bar. She kind of waddles out from behind the bar. She looks up at you and asks you what it is that she can do for you.
So I just want to spend some time with her. I kind of grab her around her waist, kind of twirl her around.
Roll for performance for me.
Oh, performance.
That's actually not what I'm going for, but I'm just going to get her back there and talk business.
Now that I got your attention.
Yeah, now that I've got your attention. What is it? What am I going? Performance?
Performance.
Well, I have a -1. 11.
All right. I mean, you might step on her foot once as you twirl her around, but she seems kind of I mean, she seems kind of jolly and enamored with the show. As fake as it may be, the show of affection. She's not. This isn't her first go around that someone's kind of
Right.
throwing affection her way. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So she kind of smiles and says, "Well, again, my love, what can I do for you?"
So are we off by ourselves or what?
Oh, you want to go off by yourself? Well, she says, "Well, yeah, you can." She kind of, if that's what you want, she'll lead you up the flight of stairs. She's going to pass all the brothel rooms, the inns that or the inn rooms that also serve as brothels rooms, and you're going to see just the ones that you can kind of take a peek in. The doors are open. This is not a. This is the Motel 6 of
Nice.
of lodging. You would not want to use the beds.
And I go on to the suites.
She's gonna lead you back to her private quarters, which are maybe a half a step higher than that. But she'll say, "All right, yeah, you have your privacy. What can I do for you?" And I pray you're not about to kill this woman.
I am not about to kill this woman. No, I'm just going to say, hey, obviously you run a quite an establishment here. You've very, very successful.
Most well-known bar in the city.
I hear that. Everybody told me to come see you for anything I need. But here's what I need. I want to make you a proposal.
She's going to kind of say, "Do you know how many of these I get a day?"
Right. Right, Freya, and clearly you deserve it. I mean, it looks like you have a lot of assets here.
Hello.
Here's what I need. I'm in need of some property. I'm in need of a building. Is there anything you know of, or any way I can get hands on a building here locally around your bar somewhere close? I think it could be advantageous to both of us. I just wanted to check with you.
You'll notice her jolly demeanor kind of not goes away completely, but kind of changes a little bit, and she'll say, "Friend, what type of property are you looking for?"
Here's what I'm looking for. So obviously you have a lot of ladies here that rely on a lot of men to come through, correct? That's part of your business, right?
Of course.
What I'm wanting to find is a building where I can house a small contingent of men, maybe 30 to 50 guys, maybe less, maybe a little bit less somewhere in there, but somewhere close proximity here where I could keep your rooms full and I can keep the men's attention and keep them with me. I'm going to open up a little business here, but I feel like my business can keep your business kind of rolling, you know?
She says, she kind of thinks about that, for a few moments, and then says, "Well, there are some properties right around here. You probably see that not every single building is being utilized. The problem that you're going to run into is the same problem that we all run into, and that is." And she kind of hesitates, and you can kind of see she wants to say something, but she's not quite sure. She's just met you. She kind of pauses and then simply says, "Owning property here comes with lots of strings attached."
Understood. But let's just say I didn't have, like, are you saying strings attached from who owns? I mean, from who? From the king? From the Silver Shroud? I've heard about this guy that everybody's indebted to. I mean, what? Who are we talking here? It's just me and you back here.
When you say that, she kind of freezes, and what was left of that jolly disposition completely disappears, and says, she almost seems like she can't tell whether she can't tell the line of this questioning whether it is fact finding, whether she actually has a problem and is seeing if she's going to say something she shouldn't say, or whether you are actually a friend.
So am I going to pick up on that, or do I need to roll up?
Yeah, no, you pick up on that again, because the way that you first met her, she is completely turned, like she's kind of frozen.
I'm going to say, listen, Fred, I'm not from here. We've only been in town maybe a day. What are we? 2 days? 1 day?
1 day.
Yeah, we've been here 1 day, but I've already figured out that what's going on here. I have no ties with anyone, but I promise you this: I always look out for fellow entrepreneurs, and I'm one that I don't have a problem with authority, but I kind of got a problem with authority. So I know where they're coming from. If you know,
she says that if anyone that attempts to run a business or own property here, one way or another, find themselves under the thumb of Tharaval.
Are you under the thumb of Tharaval right now?
She kind of hesitates. Make a persuasion check.
I'm terrible with that. 17.
She will nod and say, in more ways than one. I not only do I have to pay a portion of the proceeds to him. He utilizes several different groups to spread his influence around Iathir. He's a very ruthless and smart man, and he will. The current group that's giving me a problem is a faction or a splintered group of the Red Raven pirates. That pirating is illegal in this portion of the world, but a splintered faction. Huh?
For him?
They do, yes. There's a splintered faction of them, a small group of them that he utilizes for certain things. Here, they reside in the slums, and they take a large portion of my ale for themselves. And as a result, that squeezes my profits. And what small portion of profits I do make, even after they take half my ale, I then have to pay to Tharaval. And so,
is this the contract you have with him, or he just takes it by force?
It is an unspoken contract. It's understood that if I were to resist, then it's been made clear that I would lose my establishment. In fact, I just recently had to make the most recent, and she kind of, makes the insinuation that when she says the most recent payment, but it's not really a payment. It was taken by force of my finest ale, my house ale that I'm known for. They took half my shipment to the slums recently.
So when you say they take them to the slums, like that's where they're hiding it, that's where they store it, or that's who it's for?
Oh, they make no they make no hidden no secrecy to it. Yeah, they have they own a section or run a section of the slums in the northern part of the slums. That when they take my ale, they take it up there.
So that's how homeboy.
So they take it, or do you deliver it?
They take it.
Yeah. So that's what I was with that. So when are they coming back? When's your next payment due?
It will be a while. They literally just took it, and so it was a very large portion of it. And once they do that, then I make my own payment as far as the portion of the profits that I make here.
When do you make that payment?
I make that once a week.
Okay. All right. So you take it yourself, or do you have somebody take it?
Oh, I have one of my bard maidens take it.
How about this next time? I will take that payment for you to them. and probably ensure that you get that payment back.
She kind of stops and is speechless. Make another persuasion check.
10 even. Tiger's a runner. Yeah.
Well, you've already gained her. I mean, I've got a low DC here. She says she kind of seems. She doesn't completely thaw. She doesn't completely warm up to the idea, but she does. You see a ray of hope or a glint of hope, and she says, "I tell you what. Speak to. Let me pull up her thing. Speak to Annalise. She is my head barmaiden. I trust her with everything. She is the one. She lives in the slums, and so she knows where their section of the district, their hideout is, and she could not only point you the way and show you the way, but it may be able to give you any other information about them as far as where they're located at.
So, all right. Well, here's the deal. I want to help you with that problem for you. I want to help you get rid of that guy and get this monkey off your back. I'll talk to Annalise and figure out some way of removing you from out up underneath that thumb.
She says
if that's okay to you.
She's overjoyed at that aspect, and she says she then says, if you are able to help me with this, then the additional properties that I possess that are adjacent to her, I'm willing to give those to you. They're not being utilized. Just to be able to have the full profits that I have here is more than enough for me. But so I'll be more than happy to give you the properties that I have that are being currently unused. I warn you that they are in great disrepair, but you're more than welcome to have them.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. How about this? How about you let me have one part of it now? Let me bring in who I need to bring in to protect your establishment while I make plans to get you out from underneath this thumb.
Okay. You can. She kind of nods and agrees, and says, "But I warn you to please be careful." And you can tell now that cloud of fear is coming back, because she then says that I'm sure that word will eventually make it back to Thorval, and there would be retribution for defying his.
Well, how about this? So what we'll do is until I'm ready to make a move, I'll help you with some of your payment. I'll help you with some of your payment to him. In exchange, I get some of the adjacent property. We'll start cleaning it up. But once you get out from underneath the thumb, maybe you can take me on as a partner in some capacity.
She says, I can't do this forever. That she seems amenable to that. And so she kind of extends her hand and she kind of stands on her tiptoes to try to reach you, and kind of pulls you halfway down to her level and lays a big kiss on your cheek, a big dwarven kiss. And she thanks you profusely for your offer of assistance. And so we'll go ahead and say that while you're there, you speak to Annalise.
Hold on. What did we do? She shook my hand?
No, she kind of grabbed you by the neck and pulled you down to her and laid a big dwarven kiss on you. There you go.
Yeah. Well, where I come from, that's not how we seal that deal. So why don't you go lock that door real quick?
You're gonna have to roll for persuasion on that one.
I'm just kidding. Okay, but here's persuasion.
Oh, let's see what she rolls. Let's see if she's got her wits about her.
Let's hope that Ivor's
she's gonna be
spread
better than -1.
She goes. Maybe once you've helped me my problem, I'll help you with yours.
Tell you what, we'll just be business partners. How about that? And I'll kind of slap her on the ass.
All right. She kind of like that. She responds well to that.
Okay.
I'd
Good
slap
deal.
something else, but that's me.
So yeah, you'll talk to as you work your way back down, you'll talk to Annalise. She'll confirm. Like I said, we can kind of cut to the quick part of that. She'll confirm what she said. Yes, she does live in the slums, and just for the sake of this, we'll let's see here.
Dang, I told Keith to come next week. I'm going to have to go find Keith again. Hello, Keith.
Oh yeah, you already got him a place to live.
Pretty cool.
You need like a little network, like a Vera.
I was trying to see here.
I've never seen him.
I don't know.
You know, talk about me. I want to go fight in the pit. That's really all I wanted to do tonight.
So, I've got y'all so split up, and my menu goes. I was trying to take you back to the map, but if you'll just go to your map, golly, I wish there was an easier way to. Oh, here we go. I can do this.
On one map or something. Like that.
There's only 3 of y'all left. It'll be easy if I just drag you the 3 of y'all manually. All right. Did that bring you back to the map?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all are right in here.
Mm-hmm.
Annalise is going to explain to you that the area that you want to head to is up in the northern part, just east of the sewer grates, in the rank.
All right.
And that's where the pirates live.
That's where. Well, they're a contingent of old pirate. I say old pirates. I mean, they're not old people, but yeah, they're that's where their kind of their little territory is.
We're supposed to fight up there in the fighting pits?
The pits are over here in the center of the slums.
Okay.
That's where they're taking Freya's.
Yeah, their territory is up here. It's and she'll describe the rank as it's the worst area of the slums.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that's expanding.
But that's where. So she'll let you know that portion of the slums is where you would go to if you're either going to deliver the payment or go check on the shipment of ale that they stole.
You have 10 grand.
Okay.
You have 22 AC, 10 grand. You're what else?
Mark hates Carrick so bad.
I do hate Carrick. I mean, how is this guy? We're not even a level. Are we level 10 yet?
We should all have about 10 grand. I haven't spent any gold since we started.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So you can add that to your little
I want to go to one place. I want to get
area of side quest.
because it's coming. What's that, Jared?
I said just add that to your little notes of another thing y'all can do if y'all so choose to do it.
Yeah. Hey, and how do I how much is it going to cost to like fix up? I need like
I'll have to do a bit of research on that. I don't have a figure for you right now.
And I'm also going to ask her to. I need a sign maker. Put a sign out.
We could probably find a sign maker.
We'll find that later after we get.
I'm sure you can find an old man to whittle you some wood.
Mm-hmm.
The slums probably.
Oh, okay, so help Therival with his stolen shipments in the forest. What was the other two things you said we could do?
Well, no, that you combine two. The forest is the one that Ivor encountered the soothsayer. The
Beware, don't go to
said said that the darkness and the undead are
Therival's shipments were in some cave in the forest.
Yeah, they were not in the forest. They're west of Iather.
Oh, okay.
In a cave somewhere to the west. He gave Baron the rough description of which direction it was based on the recon that his failed attempt to reclaim them.
So help Therival with that.
And then the help in Freya with her payment problem and ale's theft.
The stolen ale. And that was the pirates in the slums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And was there a third one? Or that's the only two?
Those are the three.
Oh, we had the Seuss.
Those are
Yearwood.
Well, the soothsayer just said don't go to the forest.
But Jared said that was a place we could go.
Yeah, that she described that's where she said when she did the card reading, she said that's where the darkness is coming from. That's where the skeleton was. That's where the undead are coming from. And then it was a picture of the forest that it starts in the forest and it overtakes it's going to overtake the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Darkness in the forest. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we can finish up this afternoon with the next session. We can just jump straight to the fighting pits and
Whatever. I mean, we got that out of the way.
and then we can go have a wrap-up session with the old king and maybe get a little more info there, and then we can pick something to do. Although I really want to go bet on y'all's matches, but I can't because I'm not there.
Oh, we can. Oh, you can message us. Willy-nilly.
Well, I think we said since Carrick learned a lot of information and got some cool stuff that took my whole day.
Oh.
So I'm stuck in the library till dinner time.
And I'm probably hanging out with Faya till whenever.
Yeah, you are.
Slapping them titties around.
Woo.
No.
Well, me and Mark have an open relationship anyway, so I don't really.
Oh yeah, you're good. Well, that was kind of a slow start, but I think we got some progress made.
I was trying to make progress, but we'll see how that worked.
Yeah, man, I couldn't honestly because I guess of the communication problem. I couldn't tell what you were doing. I was like, is he on a suicide mission? Is he fixing to go kill himself? I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I mean, not intentionally.
I couldn't tell. Like I said, I was answering the questions and trying to role play. Then he would say nothing. I'm like,
that's what I thought. I was like, what's going on?
Doing?
Barrett's fixing to like rage quit. I can't tell what's going on.
No, I wasn't intentionally trying
So
to.
are you going to explain this secret coin, or is this a secret?
That's a coin.
That's your answer.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I mean, characters are allowed to have secrets. You know, ask Ivory. He's got like a secret warehouse.
I don't have any secrets.
So I'm saying it's a coin.
I'm still all over there talking to Faya, right? Okay.
No, I'm in the library, man. I left after the magic circle, and I went straight to the library.
I guess nobody's been paying attention this entire 2 years, so that's cool.
To who? Me? You? Who?
No, anybody. That's fine.
Yeah. We're all.
I'm just trying to figure out what magic coin Baron has. Are you like a member of the Illuminati or something?
Nobody's been paying attention. This is not
paying
metagame territory.
You said what?
What territory?
Metagame.
Metagame. Well, yeah, no. This was Brandon asking. This is not Carrick asking.
I know.
All right,
That's cool.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Am I taking this with me?
Yeah.
So listen, he's gonna let me have this computer till.
Just whenever, but you'll have a brand new one. What's today? Like 2 weeks, man.
Okay.
I'm
open for the next 2 weeks.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Because you don't have to work anymore.
I don't have to work.
Let me stop this.